Greetings, viewers. Welcome to episode 22 of the Tales Wit or Not Tales Cybil Spear, our actual play D&D 5e game. I'm Silver, as always. I'll be your storyteller this evening, and with me are our players, Ernie, Pope, Justin, Jeff, AJ, Conrad. I have no idea if I'm pointing to the right people, but I'm just pointing. So, for those of you tuning in for the first time, or if you've missed a session, I'd like to encourage you to check out our previous sessions, which you can find on YouTube at the link in the About section of our Twitch channel. Before we begin, I want to give a quick shout out to Smiteworks for Fantasy Grounds, our virtual tabletop of choice, Sirenscape for the amazing ambient sound effects and music, which you'll be hearing a good amount of tonight, and Wizards of the Coast for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, the game we play. Tales of Wit or Not is not affiliated with any of these companies other than the use of their products. Previously, on the Tale of Cybil's Spear, party raced through the streets of Maidenthorn, attempting to find shelter and escape the Wither Horde. After a few close calls, including almost losing Flower and Brendel, the party was able to escape the Horde and find safety in a stash house of the Midnight Riders. As they licked their wounds and secured their sanctuary, they tended to everyone's needs before finding a beleaguered Yofridir, despondent with signs of infection setting in. Our tale resumes there as Alfred and Zedri check in on their barbarian friend. They notice what first looks like a sleeping Yofridir sitting propped up against the wheel of the wagon. And as they look closer, they notice that his skin is drawn tight on his skull. Like a mummy in early stages, his eyes closed, sunken into deep, dark sockets. And as they near him, his eyes shoot open, bloodshot, piercing, staring right through them. Yofridir. Or Witherdeer, or whatever we want to call you for right now. You have the opportunity to make a surprise. So it is your turn before we roll initiative.
Who would be closer?
That's up to the two of you. I don't know who would be closer between you.
I think last we left off, Alfred was motioning towards Yofridir. He was like, Zedri, let's go and check on Yofridir, right? So I think Alfred would be closer.
Yeah, you'd gotten up to him to see what condition he was in.
Yeah, so he'd probably just make a claw attack against Alfred then.
All right.
Yofridir?
Ooh!
Could have rolled it earlier.
23 to hit. Go ahead and roll damage. I'm pretty sure that hits Alfred.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Attaboy. Roll the low damage.
Yep.
Thanks,
I'm trying to hold back.
All right. However, claw attack, 4 damage, and con save.
Oh,
Got this.
Hopefully. Yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
There we
Easily.
go.
Fuck Yofridir, fuck Yofridir.
Yofridir, on that stat block you have, I believe you have 2 attacks. You have a claw. I believe it's multi-attack, claw, and then bite.
Oh, jeez.
It doesn't say multi-attack anywhere, but I do have the 2 attacks listed.
I could be wrong on it. I might be thinking of the Withers. Nope, you just have 1.
I can bite them too.
All right, so
Down boy.
Alfred, Zedri, Yofridir, and Yofridir, you just use your regular stat block for rolling initiative. Pretty much, Vault, are you the only one upstairs?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so everybody
Oh,
else
boy.
can roll initiative.
I had to roll initiative. Oh, I almost rolled armor class, my bad.
What do you
Hey.
say?
That was open.
I'm not going
Look at
first,
that.
guys. It's alright.
Holy shit. Nice, Edry. Nice, Kiesel.
It was Kiesel. Dang.
He was
You're the one that's gonna
post.
save my ass right now. Kiesel's a little too far for that.
All right, Kiesel, you're top of the order. However, Alfred,
I yell.
what do you do when you get clawed?
Yell, oh, fuck, yo for dear. And that's about the extent. I'm not alerting, I'm like reacting.
Okay. So, Kiesel, you can't see them. You can't see where they're at. You're actually opposite corner according to the wagon. And the one clarification, we talked about this beforehand for a couple of you, but the room is 15 by 30, not 15 by 15. We are not cramped in like sardines. So it's just a longer room, 15 feet wide coming in. The wagon is sitting right in the entryway. Jofredir's on the back passenger side corner wheel. Kiesel, you'd be on the opposite side over by where the ladder was that Vault went upstairs from. So you'd be on the driver's side front, but all the way at the other side of the room for 30 feet away. But give me a perception check and don't roll awful.
I have a question. Is he totally out of sight, or would he be like partially like covered by something?
I can maybe.
I'd say from where you're at, he would be completely out of sight.
Completely out of sight. Okay.
Yeah.
And then make a perception.
Yeah.
I perceive.
What you tried to get as awful as possible. But with a 6, I'll say you hear Alfred exclaim. You just don't understand what he said. But it is still an out of the ordinary shout coming from the other side of the room.
Yeah, would I be able to like get over to where they were? Like from where I am. Like I could
With your
run
standard
over.
movement, because I mean it's 15 by 30. So going with the diagonals and the lovely geometry of D&D, yeah, you can get your 30 feet of movement will get you to the other side of the room.
With my 30 feet of movement, that puts me within 5 feet of Jofredir.
Yep.
Okay. So, because Kiesel was kind of in like a half-sprung, ready or not kind of stance to try to maybe sleep a little bit, but hearing this yelp across the room, Kiesel's just going to hop into action and just sprint over. And can I just bear hug Jofredir? Because I assume that I would see him take that, like, as I come around, I would see him like act like aggressively stanced and all clawed up, and I can see how fucked up his face is, right?
Yeah, if you're coming around the wagon rather than going towards the back straight ahead, you're going looking for it. So going to the left to go around the wagon, as you get to the corner of the wagon and catch sight, you see Jofredir standing there, hands to his side, and blood dripping off of these big, long claws coming off of the end of his hand, and Alfred clutching at... Where'd you claw him, Jofredir?
Probably would have just fought out his arm or something, whatever his closest.
And so Alfred holding his arm and attempting to stop bleeding.
Can I make an athletics check?
You can do a grapple check, so
Can
athletics or acrobatics.
Yeah, because I want to come at him and just, as soon as I run the corner and I see him, I'm going to kind of like squat low, and I'm going to go in for that kind of like bear hug, grapple, tackle, the old razzle dazzle.
Hit him
So-
hard, hit him hard.
Okay.
Is that's an athletics check?
Athletics or acrobatics.
And that's just a strength save on my end, right?
No!
Yours would be doing athletics or acrobatics in response,
Oh,
which I think
dude.
is just a strength or dexterity check for the wither stats. So.
That could have been a 28.
No.
He better roll lower than a friggin'.
Been 26.
Ow.
You would go attempt to do the bear hug, and he just like pulls himself away from you, shrugging you off and knocking you a little bit off balance, not out of the way.
Oh, jeez. I'm just gonna yell for Zedri. I'm just going to yell. And he's probably right next to me, or maybe like a little bit
Zedri
behind
be
me.
right in front of you on the other side of you over here.
I'm just gonna scream at Zedri, and that'll be my turn.
Alright. That means it's Zedri's turn. And for the sake of if you're going to actually do combat on him, attempt to deal damage, he is flanked. So you guys will have advantage on any attacks.
Okay. I mean, seeing how the claws are, Zedri's gonna try to move in and like weave around so that he can try to grip Yofridir by the wrist with both of his hands. It would probably be something like this. I don't even know if Zedri can fully put his hands around Yofridir's wrist circumference.
They're a little withered right now.
Okay. Then yeah, he's gonna move in, and with Kiesel kind of like at Yofridir's back, just saying, "No, it's fine. I've got it. And I'm gonna go ahead and cast Lesser Restoration."
Hero.
Is it a touch spell?
It is a touch spell, so that's why I'm.
Okay. Yofridir. Okay, so Zedric, give me a spell attack roll.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so that would just be my intelligence. Since my spell casting.
And it'll not be against his AC. We're going to go against Yofridir on an acrobatics check to try to avoid being grabbed by him.
This is wisdom.
Oh, nice. Oh no, the wrong one.
No, it's backwards.
You know what? Can I please use my inspiration? Because I feel like this is just so important.
You have an inspiration?
I do. And I rolled worse.
We've been burning all of our inspiration the last 3 sessions. Oh, this is not good.
Alright, you go and you reach out to just think, hey, I can grab his wrist, I can just quickly get this on there, and he just instinctively pulls away.
Kid, I need you to hold him down. Do I burn through the spell still? I'm perfectly fine if I would.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
It's basically you cast it, it's just he pulled away so you weren't touching him anymore by the time you cast it.
Okay. Then yeah, Zedri's just going to kind of like try to lower his weight a little bit and be ready to jump in. Whenever there's like an opening or whenever Yofridir is held, but that'll be the end of his turn.
Alfred, reeling a little bit from that little bit of damage you took, the surprise clawing, but you've watched Zedri Kiesel attempt to bear hug and be pulled away. Yofridir too strong for the situation, and then too quick for Zedri to be able to get his Lesser Restoration up.
Alfred is going to clutch his shoulder where the blood is gushing. He's going to take a deep breath, and possibly Zedri might be able to hear him. He is going to say underneath his breath, "Infernus, please forgive me. This is not how I want to do this, but this might help out a little." He is going to put his arms or his hands on his chest. They are going to glow bright red, and he's going to try and grapple Yofridir. He is going to cast Haste.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
You're so goofy.
So is that a spell attack, I guess? Same as Zedri, or?
Okay, so number one, just clarifying that you haven't used your haste anywhere in this run.
I don't think I have. I was thinking of using it during the chase scene, and I was asking if we had 2 horses, because if we had 1 horse, I was going to cast it on there. So I think I still have it.
I know somebody. Was it just Zedry used his? I think it was just the one.
I used
Okay.
it on Kiesel during.
I don't know for sure that it was used, so I'm going to trust that it wasn't used. So that part's fine.
I
Okay,
don't
so
think
then
I have.
who are you hasting? Yoferdir?
Yoferdir, yes. And the thing is that as he is, if this goes off, he is going to immediately break the concentration.
Is Yoferdir a willing creature?
That's the real question.
Team grapple the barbarian.
Johannes, they're like a defensive line right now.
The aggressive haste for exhaustion. I've never seen this. This is the biggest brain play.
Telling Ernie about it, I was like, if this actually works, I'm gonna feel so like. This is all I have. I have no spell slots.
Oh my
I have
god.
nothing else. I don't have my arcane firearm out.
Okay,
I've already
so
used it during this long rest.
since the spell specifically says it has to be a willing creature,
Yoferdir would have knowledge of being hasted.
I mean, that's not Yoferdir.
yeah, Yoferdir, Withered Yoferdir has a 5 intelligence.
Oh boy, that's exciting.
There's a 6.
I don't
It's
think
just
that
enough
makes
that he
a
can
huge
understand
difference.
language but not speak it. So
I bet his history checks are still legit.
Yeah, he's like
So probably rolls better than all of us combined.
So I'd say instinctively he would probably not be in favor of being spelled. Decent roll.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm going to say since it has to be a willing creature, I would say that Withered Yoferdir would not be a willing creature.
Okay. Interesting, yeah.
Which is
No, I guess-
interesting wording that it specifically says a willing creature, but lesser restoration doesn't have to be a willing creature,
Right.
which is odd.
Force it down your throat. That's what I'm gonna do. Willing or not.
This is good for you. You have to be willing to go fast, but you don't have to be willing to get healed.
Yeah.
Aster oil.
How much do I have to work with? 12.
You could always just kick his ass, so
I could just kick his ass.
You could help me grapple him.
Yeah, that's what Alfred will do. Okay. Yeah, Alfred will go ahead and attempt to grapple Yoferdir.
okay.
Oh.
Woo! That's a tough DC to hit.
Fuck.
The train
Yeah, Withered
continues.
Yoferdir's bringing his A game tonight.
I can make it an acrobatics check, right?
Yeah, you can do acrobatics or athletics. It's your call.
I got a +4! Oh.
No!
Oh, I have a +5.
Golly, we're piling on each other.
No.
Yeah, you try and maneuver your way to try and like lock his arms and stuff acrobatically, but he just bursts out. Yoferdir's strong. Withered Yoferdir seems even a bit stronger.
Okay, stay down! Stay down! That would be the end of Alfred's turn, I guess.
Means it's Yoferdir's or Witherdeer.
Oh boy. Probably have
You're surrounded
Kiesel.
a little bit.
Yeah, I'd probably be looking right at Kiesel though. So he came sprinting in, trying to.
He came in behind you and attempted to bear hug you, so I think it'd be fair for you to be pointing in any direction.
Yeah, I'll swing around and let's swipe at Kiesel. with my
Oh
claw.
no, you won't.
19.
Do I? Do I?
Yeah. I got 15.
Ooh.
Wait, your
Oh, that's
AC
a
is 15?
Yeah.
Ooh.
What?
Oh, he doesn't hold back when he hits Kiesel.
Ooh.
The bromance is over.
No.
I know
Jeez.
Kiesel can take the hit.
Alright, con save, Kiesel.
I believe in you.
That meets it.
That meet it? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
god.
wasn't sure if it was 11 or 12, so.
Yeah, no, that meet it.
Okay. Just
I'm dancing
claw
on the
coming
top.
straight up and catching you on the neck as it goes across.
Ow.
A little bit of a sting, but you power through it.
Mm,
That's that rough love.
that brotherly love.
I'll put us to Salinas. Salinas, give me a perception check. You're
Okay.
closer than Kiesel was, so don't nat 1. And
Ooh, that was a journey.
That was.
yeah. Yeah. You hear everything that's going on from the first attack on Alfred to Alfred's exclamation to Kiesel taking a swipe at the neck. And have, with a 13, you have a pretty good idea what's going on the other side of the wagon. You'd be about 15 feet away.
Was that priestess's his name?
Anna?
I am just to. Anna, we are in need of assistance. And I am going
Your
to.
friend's getting into a fight back there. I was looking for the
Restoration spell now.
what?
I'm going to grab my a little bit of rope, and I'm going to run over, tossing one side of it to Kiesel, give him the help action.
I'm being helped.
All right, Anna with a solid 1 on the initiative roll, but that still puts her right next in the order. So,
That's actually better.
Oh.
all right. So, Salinas, you're using your rope to give Kiesel a help action to attempt to subdue. When we get back to the top of the order, Anna will be right behind you, making her attempt to. Yep. Okay. I think I know who you used this for. You sure? This is what you want me to do? Okay. And we'll see how well she could do with attempting to, against his will, lesser restoration.
She's fine. She's great. Anna's great.
You need the epinephrine Offerdier. Stop kicking.
Come on, girly. Oh yeah, she's great.
Woo!
She's great.
All right,
Guiding
go for what do you
bolt.
got for?
She smacked him with a
acrobat?
guiding bolt instead.
No, it was an attack, spellcasting attack roll I could grab. So
Restoration guiding bolt. Who could tell these days?
she goes, grabs and holds on for dear life, and watches orangish blue energy mixes and comes off of her hand. It goes slowly coursing up Yofredir's wrist, and the withered condition just like slowly starts to go back to normal skin as it goes up his arm and into his body, and just once it finally crosses across his face and the rest of his body, you watch as he just drops down onto his butt against the wall. But he looks more like Yoferdir.
Holy. Alfred will turn to Anna and just thank you so much. Holy shit. Everything happened so fast.
That.
That.
I would like to come up next to Anna. Do you have something that could stop the bleeding, maybe? And I'm just holding my neck as it's like, it's coming out a little.
Big baby.
Yeah. Let's see.
Actually, hold on. How many... Has she already casted Cure Wounds?
Nope. Because I dragged the wrong thing, so.
Okay. Let me see if I can do anything about this. Now
Be my
Alfred will
guest.
put his...
I'm gonna see if I can find something. Drink.
Yeah. Who all... Can I see who all is hurt around me?
Me.
Besides Kiesel. Yes, besides me and Kiesel.
Yoferdir's pretty rough shape. You've got some injuries. Kiesel's got some injuries.
Yeah.
Zedri, Zedri's still pretty beat up too, but Alfred and Yoferdir look the worst. Kiesel really looks fine. There's just a little bit of blood. It's getting on his pretty cloak. He's a little bit upset.
It's you know, and I'll kind of I'll kind of like clear off the blood that was flowing, and it's not like a deep cut, but it was a bleeder.
And Alfred's like over here, he's got like his entire arm is red, not from the color of his skin, but from the blood that used to be within it. Actually, I think you're fine. Just go to bed. Just go to bed, Kiesel.
Just go to fucking bed. God damn it.
Gotta let out a sigh.
What is Jenica doing? Because I know that just happened over the course of 10 seconds. Ish, yeah.
If you look back over your shoulder as Anna's going away looking for something to drink, Jenica's coming over, kind of just spying, looking around you to see Yoferdir sitting on the floor, a little bit exhausted. She shakes her head and does the whole... runs her hand over her forehead.
Do you see that?
Frustration.
I just want to
say. Have something to add.
I just want to call out to her.
Oh, that's what I call out to her.
See what?
You have something to say?
Me?
Yes, you look quite frustrated.
Just trying to figure out how the fuck we're going to not all die.
Oh, I mean, like I was telling you just a few minutes ago, before all this happened. Magic. He was reversed. Look, his fingernails are back where they're supposed to be, and everything like that. You just seemed very skeptical, and if it could be done on it, I guess we had a real-time example.
A whole lot more people out there than just the ones in this building, though.
Sure, but I mean, it's a start. At least we know we
I suppose it's something.
It can at least be contained to the confines of the four walls here. Well, I guess 5 if you're including the floor. It's a form of protection.
Well, then you would have to add 6 because the ceiling.
Well, not all 6, because we're in a 3-dimensional rectangle. It's a very astute observation, actually. Anyway, this is something reversible. I think this should be seen as almost like a, I don't know, like a victory. That was a lot of blood that came out. It kind of shocked me on how quickly, so I'm a little razzled over that.
Suppose take whatever victories we can get.
Zidri's gonna move up to Alfred, and like lightly produce a flame, kind of low to like his palm, so it isn't like really like peeking up. But just say, I really don't have much to help out, but I can at least try to staunch some of it, cauterize the wounds. Do you think that would be helpful?
Maybe. I honestly, I just need to go lay down.
I feel like we should probably go to sleep. That includes you too, Kiesel. And he'll kind of look over at Kiesel's scar on his neck.
I mean, yeah, but I think we were supposed to be taking shifts for watch. So I
I'll
don't
take
know
the
if
first shift. Sleep.
I guess I would be taking the second shift, but maybe we should reorganize that really quickly because I know now Yofrid doesn't look like he wants to stay up at all. I might be better off sleeping, to be honest.
Is Yofrid conscious or is he like unconscious?
Yeah, he's
against
conscious, just
Yeah, I'd be slumped against the wall, and I'll be like, I can take first watch, that's fine. And I'm gonna pull a healing potion and try to hand it over to Alfred.
This fucking guy.
You're in arguably worse shape than me.
I can manage.
God. Alright, fine. Alfred will take everyone's fucking advice. Alfred will take the healing potion. I'll take third, fourth watch now. Is it Yofrid first, or?
I'll do first watch with Yofrid. I think it's probably good if we pair up with at least one person who can help out. So
Does what I say not matter at all?
with all due respect, Salinas, you keep on saying that all you need is like a little catnip. So if you get it out of the way, then that means you should be able to help out more, right?
I'm half an hour into that. If you let me just... I'm going to have my magic back in half an hour to be awake. This is going to happen again. It's going to happen soon. Much better.
Adriel just kind of yawned. No. Okay, I'm not gonna push it. If I'm okay with resting then, but I do want to make sure that Geoffrey is okay. And Citri's gonna walk over to Geoffrey, and he is going to go ahead and cast Cure Wounds. So you heal for 8.
I'm drinking that potion. Oh wow. Oh,
Nice.
it's still a little down my cheek. I'm like, oh.
Yofrid was gonna stand up, brush
There's
himself
like
off a bit.
there's like a hole in the cheek from the scratch mark. It's like the potion's just coming straight out.
Oh, gross!
I'm good as new. Top shape.
Alright. So, what did we settle on for watch order?
Yofrid is slumming up a ladder already.
That puts Salinas right after him.
Yofrid's watching there. I'm gonna watch in the room. Keeping watch for Turner.
Okay, Cedric, Kiesel, Alfred, you guys all taking a nappy nap?
I can take watch as well. Since half the muscle's going up, I'll stay here. I can go watch after Salinas. Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Alfred will
Sentry
do
Alfred.
watch after Kiesel.
Zedri will watch after Alfred.
Okay,
Vault will get to
so-
go to sleep.
All
I guess
will get
so,
to go to
boys.
sleep.
Vault's upstairs on watch already.
Oh,
Has no
fuck.
idea
Oh,
what all
you're right.
happened. So.
He's on first watch.
Oh my God,
Yofredir's on
everyone-
second watch.
I'm on the worst watch, by the way. On watch, didn't even hear the whole battle happen underneath me. That sucks.
He's like, hey, for
I'll
you
have
like,
blood in my ears, man. It's just, listen, coming back
It
from
should
the
be
dead does that to
encouraging.
you, you know?
But the sound doesn't carry very far out of this room, so
Good stuff. Well, that'll
Yeah,
be
I'm
a thing
so-
to note.
I'm just gonna like army crawl up next to Vault. I got like blood on my hands and arms. I'm like, you can go rest. I'm gonna take watch.
Oh, goodness, how long's it? Oh, what happened to you? Are you okay? I mean, for today.
Well, it's good thing we have a healer at least. I was infected. I'm alright now.
Not contagious.
I got better.
And I'm better.
I'm just gonna say, and I'm just kind of like stammer, and then I'm just gonna press the digitate and just clean them up, and then I'm just gonna go to my hammock and lay down.
Thank you for that.
Yep. I'm just gonna. I have a real quick question, DM, just so I understand when I'm looking at Fantasy Grounds. When it says the wound number, is that how much HP I have remaining, or is that how much damage
No,
I have
that's
taken?
how much you've taken.
Okay, yeah, okay, definitely.
Yes, you got
on
8 points remaining.
That's what I thought.
I think them are bad.
You're one of the 3 that are about would be in the ICU
We're
at this point.
perforated
So.
right now, you know. This is all right. Just gonna do that. Did I get anything that I could make into some makeshift caltrops or randomness during any of this shenaniganry? Did I find
No,
any
because the
scrap
only thing
metal?
you found was you were going to try and rip some floorboards up and pull the nails out of it, and
Yeah, that wasn't a good idea. to
you
be honest.
quickly found out that was going to be a very, very noisy endeavor.
All right, fair enough. I'm in my hammock then. Or honestly, I'm gonna not even have the hammock up because I never got it up. I'm just gonna throw it over me like a blanket and just fall asleep in a corner. It's fine. I would like my
Okay.
head to be kind of near the area where you come up the ladder, so that if anyone comes up, I could still wake up, or if it's used, for what it's worth.
Okay. All right, so Vault, Yofredir, you guys are upstairs in the main floor room. Yofredir on watch, Vault sleeping in his hammock. Salinas, you're on watch in the underground room. And Kiesel, Alfred, Zedri are taking naps at this point.
Until watch, yes, sir.
Yes.
Well, Alfred will start his long rest by doing some tinkering.
Okay.
He's not quite ready to go to bed yet.
All right, so Alfred and Salinas, give me perception checks.
Oh, that's almost 18.
Man, the ride of your rolls tonight here.
No.
Everyone's had some almost good ones.
All right, so Selena says you're taking your watch. You're kind of like focusing in on kind of just walking around the wagon and checking to see if you can see any signs of, is there snow coming in at any point that might be an exposed point that somebody from the outside could tell there's something in here. And just kind of focusing on the sound of the wind, which has died down a little bit from the blizzard that you were dealing with before. Still blowing pretty good out there. Most everybody else inside the room has passed out. Don't really notice any activity. Alfred, as you're taking your little moment to tinker, you find yourself a little spot against the wall to make yourself a little makeshift workbench. And
actually, I'd probably
just
be,
as you're...
Oh, I'd be like
Oh,
on
go
the
ahead.
wagon. I'd just be like on the wagon because that'd be like a nice platform to sit on.
Okay, so sitting up on the wagon. Notice out of the corner of your eye as you're finishing your stuff up, because you take an hour roughly working on your stuff before you go to sleep. just catch out of the corner of your eye that Flower and Jenica are talking over in the corner, and he just watches Flower falls asleep, just like cradled against Jenica's chest, as for a brief second you watch Jenica shed a few tears before quickly wiping them away, hoping that she catches them before anybody else sees her. But you are the only one that notices, as far as you know.
So this leaning in that Flower does, it's all like it's conscious, right? It's not like magically like she just like slumps over or anything.
No,
like
no,
that. Okay.
just kind of a leaning head up against the shoulder, over against a wall, going to sleep, and just that's where Jenica's got her kind of cradled up against her as she
just
falls
wanna make
asleep.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Alfred won't make any sort of like motion as to let on that he's noticed.
Okay.
But he'll give like a small little smile that even this hard ass of a woman can be like a little bit soft.
All right, those of you that are on watch, so Yofridir and Salinas, give me perception checks for your watch.
Okay.
It's all that blood in his ears.
Slightly better.
There we go.
We'll say you guys are on 2-hour watches, just with the number of people that lined up to be watch. Yofridir up, Salinas downstairs, just don't really notice anything. Everything seems quiet. Feel pretty confident that everything is quiet and safe. And effectively, you are long rested, or short rested at this point.
That's the important bit.
Woo! Or
Let's go ahead and throw that.
Oh, thank God.
We
Oh
have
my-
been waiting for that sound for how many weeks?
4
weeks. Good
Something like
God. We are running it, man. I love it.
month, dude. Holy crap. Finally.
All right, Yofridir, you're upstairs, and
You know, they want to roll hit dice.
I don't know
just
if
in
you
case.
caught the description of the room last episode when you were watching from your sickbed. So basically, it's an old shop, just a 10-foot by 10-foot room, just a little small retail shop that has not been in use in probably a good 5+ years. Heavy coated dust on everything. Our shelves are bare, with the exception of the couple jars that Vault and Alfred nicked earlier. So the shelves are now bare.
You'll see like there's an inch of dust, but there's like a small little circular, two small little circular indents where the dust is like has
Pretty
a
much.
That's what I'm
The windows
thinking.
have been soaked, so you can't see much outside. You can just see shapes, and you notice that the snow has died down a little bit. It's still snowing, but just a light snow, no longer blizzard conditions outside. Still a good cold breeze. It's pretty cold in this room. With your loss of blood, a little bit extra cold for you. But don't notice any activity outside. Everything seems to be clear. And your guys' watch concludes. Tap in Kiesel.
I'll go wake Kiesel up.
Okay. Kiesel, you going upstairs or downstairs?
What a valuable question.
Did not see any signs of anyone else running. It's probably
Last thing I need is for someone to see me up there before I see you. And I'll make my motion coming into this cellar style door that we had entered. Is this like a slope or is it like stairs a little bit? You know,
No, it's a ramp.
it's a ramp. Okay.
Mhm.
I guess I'll just take position up in the wagon I'll jump up there. I want to get a good look before I allow myself to be distracted. Can I perceive at some point?
Yeah, once you know where you're going to be set up, then give me a perception check.
Yeah, because like
for your
the top,
watch.
the top of the wagon would give me the most like Sauron's eye style view, right?
If you're wanting to watch the room, yes. If you're wanting to watch the door, you're going to be your back to it because the wagon just came straight in down the ramp.
Yeah, but if there's something by the door, I'll hear it. Like it'll make a
Fair.
So
It is a big wooden door, and it ain't a small one.
I trust Jenica's ability to secure this bitch up, so I'm going to just have my back towards the door, arms crossed. Maybe I'll mess around with my glaive. I'll take a look at like the charms that have been hanging on it. Just maybe taking some very fine pieces of rope and cutting them off as pieces of thread and restringing them. It's a medallion and a small grass ring that I've had for a little while now. He's just going to kind of take a little bit of time to ponder to himself. Take a look
Okay.
at his little memorabilia and then kind of shift attention back to the room, but not before taking a knife out. And seeing everybody else with such long fingernails made me realize how dirty mine are. And he's just going to start meticulously getting under there and just kind of getting some dirt, making his fingernails a little cleaner. And then I will perceive after my manicure.
Okay.
Before Alfred bundles down for the night and he's like finished doing his little work, could he catch Selena's?
Yeah, I mean,
what's
it's a 15 by 30 foot room. I mean, it's like twice the size as what we thought it was, but it's still a pretty small room. And with Selena's kind of like walking a tour around the room, you could have easily caught him.
Selena's, do you have a moment?
For you, of course.
Can I ask you something? If we can't find a source to sort of like stop this infection and everyone is just sort of lost in their own, I guess, perpetual state of this, what do we do with the town? Like, people have said we can't sit here and wait for lesser restoration on cooldown, I guess. Sitting here waiting and sleeping and
Alfred, right now, do you want an honest answer from me, or do you want reassurance that everyone...
I'm asking you to be honest, because I know that you can be.
Want my honest plan? You cannot find a way to stop this, to ask for general... Hunting incendiaries, explosives, and burn town, we leave. It's scorched earth.
Right. Yeah, I figured that would be it. Alfred's kind of shaking a little, but thank you for being honest.
Of course.
I don't like it, but I know that if there's anyone that could have thought of another way, it would be you.
He just kind of looks over at the dear child by himself now. We have to do what we can.
Yeah.
I think that we'll find to stop this.
I pray to Infernus that you're right. And with that, Alfred will say his goodnight, and he'll make his way to like where Ranger's laying down and sort of like prop himself up against Ranger. He'll sort of he'll take out a pack of rations and go into the, or before laying down with Ranger, he'll go into the wagon and find Cybil and spend some time with her, and then lay down with Ranger, see if Cybil wants to join, and lay down for the night. Contemplating this mess.
Should I perceive at this?
Look with your special
Perceive
eyes.
away.
Actually, can I roll hit die? Because everyone else is rolling hit die too.
Yeah.
No.
Oh fuck yeah!
I got the mid numbers.
Just what I needed. All
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Now I will perceive after I used up my good roll on healing myself. It always takes me so long.
You were right about that, damn.
Mid numbers.
Okay. Your watch goes by pretty quiet. Here's the wind over the course of the 2 hours, dies down a little bit more. Still have just a very deep chill. There's no fire. There's nothing really doing anything to try and keep this place warm, and this place is not, from the looks of it, not readily occupied by humans or humanoids. So do your best to try and keep yourself distracted from the cold and keep from it getting too deep into your bones. But aside from that, it's quiet. A few snorers in the group. Pick up a little bit of that from the room. Little bit of that damp, moldy basement smell. Yeah. Not awful. Your nose gets used to it after 30 minutes of breathing it in, that it's just, okay, this is just what the smell blind at this point.
More spores I gotta worry about.
As long as they don't give you magical powers, we're okay, right?
Oh,
But
okay.
your watch goes by quiet.
And I become a druid.
All right. Who would I wake
Pass
up
the
next?
torch to Alfred.
Again?
Alfred was
Alfred didn't.
doing his tinkering. He wasn't on watch.
Ooh, okay. I'll
Pink, pink, pink.
I'll try my best to get out of the wagon, but it is very bitter. I'll kind of shuffle, really just, and I'll squat down next to Alfred, and I'll kind of like poke him, kind of shake him very lightly.
Is it my turn now?
Yeah, it's really fucking cold though.
Oh, I hate that you said that.
I'm just giving you a heads up before you're fully awake. It's really fucking cold.
You know, I asked Linus to be very truthful with me about a couple hours ago, and now I'm less liking the truth.
Oh, what truth did Salinas tell you?
Yeah, we were just shit talking. I asked him what we could do with the town. You know, things like that.
What to do with? You mean like? What do you mean? What we're gonna like we're trying to leave? That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah. Alfred's gonna get out.
Insightful. Okay, whatever. I'm just. He's gonna be like.
Maybe we gotta leave.
I mean, yeah, it's just the fucking boat's not in port, so we have a little bit of a fucking problem when we have to get our affairs in order tomorrow.
He's gonna like shift himself out between Cybil and Ranger.
Was that more truth that you didn't know?
No, it's everything I did know.
Okay.
Get on to bed now. Your wound looks a lot better.
Yeah, it was like a surface level cut. It just bled a lot. It just kind of caught me off guard. To be honest, that was really the one. It's just been a little you know, this has just felt like such a long fucking day. It's felt like a couple weeks have gone by. It's just been one long fucking day, so it's I'm a little on edge.
I hear you. It's almost over though.
Yeah. Oh, I'll be so happy to see the sun.
Me too.
Also,
Also,
no funny business. Because I know you seriously have pant flips. If I wanted to give a little to the fire god,
yes.
can I just go to any sort of campfire and write a note and then burn it? Or is there like incense or...
So, with every god, and this might sound a little obvious, the more that you give, the more it matters. And that I'm not talking necessarily monetarily. The things that matter to you can be given through fire. If you burn something that's very valuable to you, it can be something that's a joyful act or something that can be done as a repentance.
Does it have to be something I like? Could it just be like a note saying thank you? I figured the firework is like a one-way form of communication. Like if I burnt it and he would get it. You know what I mean?
Well, for someone like you that's starting out and starting this relationship, I don't think that would be something that's necessarily too small. Anything to start uh, anything to start that dialogue is something that I would be more than happy to help with if you need anything.
I just don't know if relationship is the most attractive word. It's more of like a thank you and not like a let's go out sometime for some drinks. It was, I just feel it was you and Zedri very owed to the domain of fire and rebirth, I think. It's, there's just been a lot of times where I've had cuts cauterized and I just felt like saying thank you. And I just, you know.
If you want to say thank you, then just say thank you. Um, if you have something that you'd like to burn, that would also be something, but it's not necessary. I'm not saying that. Um, Zedri and I are born out of the fire. Infernus runs through our veins, quite literally. So when I say this, Infernus is with you as well. Infernus is always here for you. Through me and Zedri, you'll always have that connection. And if you want to say thank you, then say thank you and live a life that not necessarily devoted to Infernus. I'm not asking that, but if you see something, then that'd be great. Just keep an open mind. And I do have, he'll reach into his pack and he'll have like a stack of 20 pamphlets, all handwritten.
I will reach out my hand to grab or to allow him. I'll reach out as soon as he reach for the pamphlets. I'll reach out like this.
He'll give him like 5. I took a little bit of time with this. Tell me what you think. I don't know necessarily how much is too much or how much is like, I don't want to scare people into thinking that it's this big thing, but it is something important. It's not something to laugh about.
No, I'll definitely make sure. I mean, are these different revisions, or is this just 5 of the same?
No, they're all the same. This is the current
Okay.
edition.
So is there older, out of date versions?
They're with Infernus.
All right, I'll keep that in mind. But thank you. I certainly shall add this to my nightly reading and writing. And
Yeah.
I'll give him like I'll wrap around the head through the horns, and I'll kind of like bump our foreheads together.
Yeah, he'll return the hug. Well, thank you so much for coming to me for this. It does really mean a lot.
And Kiesel is gripping them like this, and they're doing a very good job already keeping my hands warm. So I think I might sleep with them like this.
close to the heart. I like it.
I'm gonna find a corner and just wrap up my my fucking pen flips.
All right,
Alfred,
you're on watch. Kiesel went to go lay down.
we're going up. Beam me up, Sky.
You're going up? Okay. Yeah, as you're heading up, you meet Jenica walking towards there, and she's like, just motions. After you, boss. I'll take down here, I suppose.
All right. I trust you to watch my back.
Will do.
Yeah. Have a good night.
Here's to finding nothing.
Pray to Infernus for that, and he'll make his way up the ladder.
All right. Give me perception check for your watch.
Yes, sir.
I love that we ended up with Mr. Perceiver Vault not on watch duty.
Hey, nobody asked me. I'm taking a nap, boys.
Yeah.
You earned a champ. You and us had die.
Alfred is going to make his way up into the room. He's seen it before, and he's going to make his way to like the table and sort of like, is there like a stool in there, right? Or some sort of like crate to sit on?
Behind the counter, you find a stool. Quickly find that it's got like 2 inches missing off of one corner, so it's either wobble or sit completely at an angle. But
It'll take a minute or
better
two
than nothing.
eventually. Yeah, eventually during the night he'll take a minute or two and fashion something to fix the leg. But for now he'll sort of like sit on the end that has the lower side, so he's just sort of like propping himself up.
Okay.
And he'll sit at the desk and he'll start off by like praying to Infernus and just thanking him for getting through everything and thanking him for the wonderful addition of Kiesel and the just asking for any sort of light as to a message or something to an answer to get through this without burning the whole town down. And then he'll go on his watch and he will look out the window and notice that it's quite foggy and the wind is howling out.
Yeah, it's again diminishes over the course of the time that you're on watch. Notice the wind kind of dies down a little bit. You see a little bit less snow coming down. Still about the middle of the night, so no signs of light coming through anywhere. And as you kind of turn your focus to fixing your stool and going about your business and stuff, you hear a scratch, like nails on a chalkboard, as you just hear these claws. And as you just quickly look, catch just a glimpse of a face in one of the windows.
Alfred will, without moving, Jenica, I see a face. And then does he see eyes, right? So
You gotta look right at it. It's up to you.
Alfred will see something scratching at the window, and he will be scared. He will slowly try and like make his way from his stool to the like hatch that has the ladder going down, and he'll sort of like keep one eye as to like the scratch mark, and then one eye like back and forth between the hatch, and he'll like shuffle, trying not to move.
Give me a stealth check with. Well, it should
It's already-
automatically give you disadvantage, but
Oh yeah, though.
Oh no.
we'll see if the coding works this time.
Didn't.
It did not.
I don't think.
I don't think
Seven's
it's going to
make
get
it.
worse than a 2. So
Let's see. Oh no.
Didn't. Thank God. Praise and furnace.
Yeah, for real, for real.
Using furnace.
So you slowly make your way off of that stool that you have thankfully just got to the point where it's sitting still and it doesn't rock or anything. You're just like sliding back. Yofredir, did you stay upstairs when you went to sleep?
I would
Was
have.
Vault had his hammock set up there, so
It's
I
wrapped
would've-
around me like a blanket.
I would have gone downstairs, but at like the bottom of the ladder.
Okay.
That way I'm close.
kind of
easily
over in
safe.
the vicinity of where Kiesel was camping out earlier. So, okay. So Yofredir, you're downstairs. Vault, you would be still upstairs, kind of just like tucked away behind the counter, wrapped up in your hammock.
I
As
thought I was trying to be
Alfred
near
slowly
the.
making his way.
It's fine.
Where you want to be nearby?
Oh, I thought I was near the ladder as I explicitly had stated.
Yeah,
That my
like
head. Okay.
the counter is the hatch that goes
Sure.
down below is
Yep.
right behind the counter. Yeah,
Good.
Alfred will have to go right past you to try and go down if that's what he's trying to do. So,
Yeah, I wanted to be right there so I would know anyone moving up and down.
Well,
Alfred, knowing that Vault is laying there right next to the hatch, do you still try and go for the hatch, or are you doing anything with Vault?
wait, I'm sorry. Did I miss that? Is he still upstairs? I
Yeah,
thought-
I've been up there the whole freaking time, dude.
The Vault's just sleeping by the hatch.
Yeah, man. I'm chilling. Press the digitate to warm my clothes, fall asleep.
Heard. Sorry, I thought you had gone downstairs and were like by the hatch on the bottom.
I ain't never been
That's where
nowhere.
Yofredir and Kiesel are.
Yeah, if I see Volt, be like, Volt. Trying to like whisper, shout, Volt.
All right, Vault, you're a very good perceiver, so give me a disadvantage perception roll that probably will still be very good.
I hope so. I like to hear and see things. It's pretty great. Disadvantage, a 14.
Oh, freaking 14. Yeah, you just hear this weird little voice meekly calling your name.
I am going to, as soon as I hear it, it's gonna seem like a cold air. I'm gonna immediately press to digitate my clothes because they only stay warm for an hour, and I can do that. It's been a little bit. They're cold, and I am going to sit up, just straight up, like, and look around. I can't see much,
Window,
probably because it's dark. I don't know.
Window.
I would like to look at the window if I would hear him say these things. We're still wrapped in like netting and hammockness.
Are you just standing up and looking out the window?
Can I see it from where I'm? If I just sit straight up,
No,
like
you're
Elsa?
behind
No.
the counter, so
Okay, I will climb up on top of the counter. Actually, no, I want to peek over it and then like slowly like approach it, like you know, like appropriate to the spookiness here, but still.
all right, neighbor Wilson, peek up over
Yeah,
top.
yeah. That sounds good.
All
That
right,
sounds real
give,
good.
give me a stealth check then. How
Absolutely.
sneaky you want to be here?
I would like to be as sneaky as I freaking possibly can. That's a 12.
Man, stealth rolls not going well here.
Hey, 2
But a
plus
12
10,
is not.
boys.
So you see just a withered face in the window On the far side, right next to the front door, there's just one little spot in the window that's cleared. And here's just one eye peeking through this whole empty spot on the glass that's about 3 inches in diameter. Just spying, looking in. And as far as you can tell, doesn't seem to see you.
I'm gonna pull my crossbow out.
I'm gonna double check that, but yes. You need on the perception, so.
Noob. I'm gonna pull my crossbow out, and I am just going to aim it like over the counter here, right at that spot where I see the eye. I'm not gonna fire, but if he does anything to break that glass, that shot is going straight in that dumbass eye. Otherwise, we are holding our temperance here.
Okay.
And
it stays there for a few moments. And then you just hear scraping as the claws just run across the wooden outside of the building as it moves away.
Is it gone?
Maybe. I'm not. Does it sound like it's gone, or like, can I infer that? Is that safe to say?
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
Sure. Another 12.
Feel pretty confident it's gone.
I think so.
Can you make it down?
Yes, of course. And I will put my crossbow on my back, and I will stealthily climb down the ladder. That's what you said, right? You were like, can you?
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Alfred, in this moment, will like try and hide to like keep himself out of view of the window.
Okay. If you just sit behind the counter, you'll be safe.
Okay, heard.
Before I
Pole
go
is still
down,
around.
before I go downstairs, how far away was Alfred from me when I go downstairs? Like, how far is that counter? Like 10 feet, 5 feet, touch distance?
Oh, he would have been within touch distance of you.
Oh, cool. So before I go down, I'm just gonna say, I could warm you up if you'd like.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm just gonna be like, here you go. And I'll just give him a little pat on the back and press the digitate and warm his clothes up. And they should be warm for an hour. Stay toasty.
Actually, that's so good. Why didn't I ask you to do that when I came up?
Well, I've learned a thing or two about Infernus. I figured I could warm things. And then I'll go downstairs. I'll actually climb right back up, little Wilson, over the edge here, and just be like, could you put it with my hammock, actually? And then I'll go back downstairs. Okay, we are going downstairs.
You get to the bottom of this, bottom of the ladder as Jenica walks up. See anything?
Yes, actually. I think we're okay, but there was an eye in the window, and I'll describe like kind of scratching, a passing of hand, and what I would infer, which is that there seems to be some sort of like searching aspect that is going on here that doesn't seem so ambient. Like I don't feel like that's like a movement that is just like willy-nilly. Whether that's the correct inference or not, that is probably what I'll pass along.
Okay. Suppose it's a place just like anything else, not a real safe place anymore. But I think we're okay to pull out a. Wait, is your boss all right?
Yes,
I thought he
he's
was
fine.
on watch.
He sent me down. You could say I speak for him at the moment.
Yeah. Good. Suppose probably better. Once everybody's rested up, figure out what we're going to do. I don't think we can stay here indefinitely.
Oh, absolutely, I agree. Do you have a moment? I do have a few questions.
I suppose nothing better to do. You sure you don't need any rest?
I will soon. I won't take up much time. Okay, first question. What are the diplomatic relationships between Maidenthorn and its neighbors?
Maidenthorn's a bit of a... It's a decent-sized town, but it's a bit of a backwater at this point. Not a whole lot of trade goes further into Granite Sound. More connections with the Hammersmith province to the north. No real disagreements. I mean, House Bannon is in charge. They don't really have a whole lot of pull or power anywhere. I guess there's something more specific you're after?
Yes, well, it seems as though the populace of Airguard might be slightly inclined to listen to a request that we may give, given our recent efforts. Perhaps we could reach out to the city guard or any of the wealthier nobles or even adventuring groups in the vicinity. I would imagine a call for action might bring some sort of mobilized effort for us. It does not seem plausible.
Probably figure out some way to get a message out.
Well, I've got a flag, and they know my house symbol. We could send a rider. I literally got their town standard.
I'm meaning more so worrying about trying to get somebody out of here without them getting killed. I'd rather not put anybody else in harm's way, but
Of course.
I suppose Sar or Vito might be willing to take on such a mission. I tend to like the suicide missions. Prove their worth, that type of stuff. But yeah, I suppose like I said, everybody gets the rest. Maybe we should talk about this as a group, or
Absolutely,
talk to the boss
absolutely.
or whatever. I know you said you're speaking for him, but probably best to get everybody on the same page. I know the cleric was a bit perturbed we did not go to the temple.
Do you know if there are any more survivors at the...
I haven't seen.
Did your
the rest of my
allies
team,
tell you anything?
Not that they located any survivors. Everybody that they came across and attempted to save was too far gone already. So,
Wonderful. And last question, and then I will get some more sleep for both of us, I suppose.
she'll just give you a quizzical look to you saying "wonderful." So,
Yep.
You're all too far
Vault's in
gone.
his own head here. He's dumb. It's fine. So yeah. Did your men tell you anything about the nature of the progression? If we can restore some of these, do you think there might be a time limit?
No, they weren't a whole lot of help on knowing anything about how this went. They actually just got into town a few hours before we did.
Oh, that would make a lot of sense. Okay, then. Well, then, see you in the morning, and I will just climb back up the ladder. Awkwardly leave that conversation.
Okay. All right. The rest of your watch, Alfred, goes pretty quiet. If you and Vault have any interaction you want to go through, go right ahead. Otherwise, we'll move to the next watch with Cedric.
Volt, can you give me a hand here? Is there like any? What's the window frame made out of? Is it wood?
Yeah.
He'll sort of. God, does he have any sort of like?
I can soil things. I should be able to soak up a window with prestidigitation.
Can't we all?
He's just gonna take a tarp out of his bag, or does he even have a tarp or something? He's got some studded leather. He's going to take out. But no, that's his freaking armor. Fucking shit. God damn it. He's gonna take his cloak and he's gonna freaking nail it to the back or to the frame of the window and like basically make a blackout window. I don't think I want anything looking in anymore.
Agreed. Do you think that they are looking for us?
Yeah, no, that thing was definitely looking in for something to bite and claw and slash and grab and
What's
all the things that I don't want.
What do you suppose the reason that they wouldn't just smash the windows and break in?
Maybe they don't have a concept of glass? Like maybe they need to smell us? Maybe I don't know.
I think there's a mystery to this, and if we can figure it out, we might be able to turn the tables on them. And with that, I'm going to go right back into wrapping my hammock up and grab that leaflet I presume would be in my hammock and stuff it in one of my coat pockets and once again warm myself and fall asleep.
Alright, good night. I hope we find the answers that you're talking about. Alfred will make his way down the hatch and back to Cybil and Ranger.
Jenica will just give you a nod as you come down, doesn't engage in a conversation. She's already talked to the voice of the party.
Just give like
Your appointed voice, so
The speaker for Sauron.
Cedric tapped in?
Yeah, he'll make his way over to Zedri. That would be a good point, to make his way over to Zedri. He'll sort of like lightly put his hand on his shoulder and like ruffle him awake.
It's like full on fetal position around his staff, but he'll wake up.
Volt and I saw one of them sort of pass by the window. It looked in and was like clawing at the side of the, well, I don't know if clawing is, it scratched its claw as it walked by. I put my cloak over the window so nothing can look in.
So, so it can't look into the room now.
Yeah, I mean you can, like I didn't fully nail it, so you can pull it back if you need to like look out yourself and you want to make sure things are all right. But, yeah, just be mindful of that. If you, I think Volt is still falling asleep. If you can catch him, he might be able to warm you up.
I think I should be fine. Wait. No, I'm fine. And Zidri will just like hold up like a sputtering flame like in his hand before he actually starts like getting up for real.
All right. Well, good luck with your watch. I'm gonna go pass out now.
Okay. Be safe, but let me know if you need anything. I'll just be right up the ladder.
Yeah, you be safe, honestly. I should be fine down here. Alfred will sort of like shuffle way over now. He's beat.
Zidri wants to make sure that Alfred like lays down, like gets settled before finally like going to head up the ladder.
Okay. Give him a few minutes. He's a little bit restless before he goes to sleep, but eventually feel like he's off. Whether you are or not is up to you, Alfred.
He's out. I don't think it would even taken a couple minutes. He would probably taken a minute and a half tops.
And okay, you said you're going to this ladder, so upstairs, give me a perception check.
Okay.
My gosh, we can't break a 15 tonight on perception checks.
Really?
It's what happens. You don't appoint Vault the spotter for the party here. So
We're trying something new.
I'm taking a nap, boy.
Yeah, give the man a break. Give him a day off. He's working overtime.
all right, Zedri with the 14. Past the time, pretty quiet. Vault sound asleep, curled up. You can barely see him because he's wrapped up in this hammock like a little pea in a pea pod.
Yes.
And stays quiet. You observe Alfred's little makeshift blackout window of a cloak hanging on the wall over top of the one window. There's various other windows, but they all seem to be pretty well soaped out that you can't see through them very well. And don't observe any activity. Everything seems quiet. Past your 2 hours watching the snow, hearing the wind subside a little bit more over the course of that time frame, and watching the snowfall drift off to flurries at this point.
When we were over at the stables and Kiesel had dug through like Wynn's body, he showed us all what was like growing inside, right?
Any- Anybody who had came up with me, I was poking around. I think that would have been like you and Jofredir.
There's Jofredir and just Jofredir, I think. I think it was the two of you and Jenica were the only three that were up there when you were poking around.
Yeah.
Because would Salinas have been in cat mode or something during the wagon trip? Alfred definitely wasn't there
No,
for
the
sure.
cat mode came later,
Couple minutes.
I believe.
Yeah. It was when we got into town and saw the thing.
That was when we were searching down the street.
For all intents and purposes, yeah, just a few of you.
Then in the back of his notebook, since he is running out of pages very fast, he's gonna just go ahead and map out like everything that we know up until now. The idea of like the spores, the fact that there was like this plant, and try to do some sort of like sketch as best as possible. Writing down the experience of what he had heard whenever he had turned, and how he kind of took a backseat to his own body. But try to see if maybe writing it all out and having illustrations, are there any like logical conclusions that can be made out of that? And he's gonna just grumble a bit, knowing that he's probably not the one that could do that, and he needs to ask a few of the members of the party. But that's what he'll be doing majority on his watch, just kind of occasionally looking up over the counter to make sure that there's nothing in the windows.
Okay.
And is there anybody looking down the ladder and kind of like sticking my head in? Is it thin enough where like I could do that and like look from the ceiling downwards, or is it like a thick floor?
No, it's pretty thick.
Okay.
You could do it. You'd have to do an acrobatics check to keep from falling through, because you'd be hanging pretty good.
He would try it first and realize that it wouldn't work and wouldn't push it, and would just start climbing down the ladder. Does it look like there's anybody in here like watching below?
Jenica is.
Just Jenica? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Then yeah, he'll pack up his things. He'll go ahead and give a thumbs up to the sleeping Vault bundled up. Not expecting a response. And then he'll descend the ladder and just walk over to Jenica. She's available.
She's popular.
She is.
As you walk up to her, she's actually got the lid off of a barrel and is pulling things out of it. It's a barrel full of what appears to be like flour.
Okay.
But she's pulling items out of the flour and setting them on the lid off to the side.
What were you like drying goods or something in there?
Nobody checks the flour containers.
Oh, well, that's a little ominous and illegally foreboding, but I just wanted
This is
to...
the person who's transporting goods for Honoria. I mean, come on. We're all on the same page here.
I mean, at this point, I think that the goods are the least of my ethical worries, and I'm I'm a little more concerned with what happens next. During the watches before, um, did any of my group come up and talk to you?
A few.
Okay. I'm sure that we're going to talk about this whenever we all wake up and everything's together. But I just want to make sure that nobody said anything worrying. I do want to try. I do want to try my best to save this town, and I think that we have it within ourselves to try to fix things.
That worrying. The short, well-dressed fellow is a bit odd at times. Said he was speaking on behalf of your boss. I mean, okay, let's just be honest. Is he really your boss? I mean, he kind of took charge things there early on. No offense, he's nice individual and everything. He seems to be capable. Doesn't seem to be a leader type. Is he really? I mean,
All due respect, I find it really surprising that you would try to question our choice in leadership. Like you said,
sorry.
I mean, nobody checks the
did
crates, and we're moving things for Honoria, so maybe things aren't what they seem. That's all I have to say about that.
Fair enough. Yeah, I wouldn't say anything worrying. I think the whole situation is just a bit worrying as to how we're going to figure out a way out of this. Don't think there's a whole lot of good options, but from talking to Sar and Vito and Riva on what they encountered on our ride back to the inn, sounds like when they came in earlier today, your ship was out in the harbor, a good mile offshore. It's there. They didn't say they saw any activity there. They didn't get close enough. But I presume that may be an option for escape, assuming everything's okay.
With all due respect, I don't know that the horrors that live inside of the Bramblethorn are going to be able to keep this thing from spreading over to a place like Ergod. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I mean, I'm on board for fighting for whatever we need to fight if we can figure out what that is. I don't like our odds about fighting a horde of withered mummy-looking things, but there's some people in this room that can't frickin' kill anything. They're just gonna be fodder and they're gonna be dead, and I don't want that on my hands if I can avoid it. So, if nothing else, finding some way to get them out is pretty high on my list.
Listen, if we're supposed to be transporting the shipment for Honoria, I honestly am full in on trying to put people inside of those extremely well-made crates in the back. I don't think that with those kind of talents, and Zedriel casts like Primal Savagery, I don't think that with talents like they're going to be able to really like scratch through it. I couldn't even get any detection of what exactly was on the inside, and then he'll kind of shake it off his hand.
Okay. Well, I think that might be able to save two.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. We could talk. It'll be sunrise here in an hour or so. I'll keep watch. Get a little bit more rest. We'll talk about it with you and your boss and figure out what needs to happen next. I got a few ideas. I don't know that they're going to be anything you guys are inclined towards, but maybe we can come to some arrangement that all of us can be not happy, but okay with.
Sounds good. Sa and Vito, by the way, those are the two siblings. Are they related?
Yeah, brothers. They're good lads.
Okay. I already met Reva, but good to know a little bit more about your crew, I guess. If you trust them, I trust my crew too. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap watches now.
All right. Yeah, we'll talk in a bit.
Sounds good. And as Zedri walks away, he realizes that there is not another watch after him. And is going to just go back to kind of like where he was sleeping. And just go ahead and taking a note out of Yofredir and Kiesel's book, try to like prop himself up a little bit rather than sleeping full fetal position on the floor. And set the staff like kind of across his lap and just doze off that way.
Okay. All right, and with that, we'll take our break before the cat gets into something behind me, as she's been wandering around back there. So,
Nice.
But yeah, we'll take a quick 5-minute break, like 20 after. Try and be back, and we'll pick back up there.
Word.
That's good.
You want to go outside?
Well, as always, those who are watching live have any questions or interact, and that would be so. We'll do our best for what we can.
No cliffhanger intermission. Cliffhanger was did the cat destroy anything?
And I didn't, so we're gonna call that
No, it's all good. She found interesting places to climb onto, but all good. Do quick thanks to those of you watching, whether live or on demand. Appreciate you tuning in. If you haven't yet, give us a follow on Twitch. If you're watching this on demand on YouTube, give us a follow there as well. I encourage you to let us know that you're enjoying things, enjoying what you see. Feel free to engage in the chat and engage with the party. Everybody's happy to chat with people and engage a little bit. So appreciate, again, tuning in and checking everything out. And we hope you're having a good time. I'm not alone anymore.
Nope. Just had to get some sun chips.
Ooh, that sounds like a dangerous eat on camera option.
It is. That's yeah. No, I've learned enough from Critical Role about what snacks are noisy and not.
I'm I'm working my way through a payday. But,
Is that the one that's just like chocolate covering like nuts and coconut?
no, that would be like a Mounds or something like that. Payday is
Okay.
peanuts and then peanut butter in the middle. So like a whole lot of peanut allergy problems.
Favorite candy bar? Is that it?
Depends. Have to be in the right mood for certain ones. I like it, but Reese's Cups are pretty good. Reese's Pieces is probably my favorite candy.
Did those first come out whenever ET came out? Or was it just
No,
ET
they
like
come out before. I actually just watched a video on this the other day that shout out to whoever on YouTube posted the video that said the Amblin Entertainment and the people that were putting out ET actually talked to M&M Mars about putting M&Ms in it, and they said, nah, we don't want to have anything to do with it. They were good. They didn't want to be a spot, like throw in on it. And so Reese's Pieces that had like no popularity at the time got put in instead and skyrocketed in popularity because of the movie.
Oh,
And they're still here 40 years later. So
single most expensive no that Mars has ever faced?
You want to make money? No.
we're good. The Spielberg guys, he's not going to do anything. We don't think any of his movies are going to take off.
An alien who lives in a closet? No thanks.
With a giant telescoping head? No, come on.
Who's gonna
Glowing
watch that?
finger? Mm-mm.
It just sounds inappropriate. We don't want that.
They were thinking about PR before anyone was thinking about PR.
Mm. Thinking PR, but instead you get the RP. Reese's Pieces.
Ooh. AJ wins the internet.
our next sponsor.
Yeah, right? We've
Reese's
talked enough.
Pieces. Want the RP? We've got it.
We're blacklisted from Mars, but that's okay.
At this point, who do we still have?
No, we have Hershey's.
Oh, we have a Pepsi sponsorship coming in.
Ah, okay.
It's like a throwback can or something like that.
It's Soda Shop Black Cherry Cola.
Oh,
It's the one that you were talking about last week, right?
No, that was the
I-
mango last
I
week.
still
wasn't
have
it?
the other can. It's a mango.
But the black cherry one is the one that you said you had as like a kid a lot.
No, that's just the
wild cherry.
wild cherry. Yeah.
Wild cherry. I don't know
Yeah.
enough about all of the fruit flavored colas.
Pepsi has a
Well, we'd be happy to learn for sponsorship, Pepsi. So
Pepsi has a lineup of like really cool, like interesting cola flavors, like in stores. Like I look at the Coke section, and I'm like, wow, there's Coke, there's Sprite, there's
Oh well, there
Diet
goes
Coke.
that. There goes that sponsorship.
they're mutually
We're really-
exclusive. We had to pick one. So
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
really
I,
choosing sides here today.
I laid my bed when I had that story last week.
Okay, we'll do a inter-party conflict. Half of us versus half of us. Coca-Cola sponsored Pepsi showdown.
I don't drink soda, so I'm gonna be neutral in it.
Perfect. We got
welcome
7
to
people,
tonight's
right?
episode. Cola Wars strike Winternock.
Do
Winter
D&D Cola Wars, and then you could just like, man.
What's going on in Winternock? Oh, cat.
Damn.
Hey,
that's my actual Alfredism. What's going
Squirrel.
on in the world? Hey, cat.
All right, looks like we got everybody back. So get back to it. All right. To finish up all your watches, everybody gets their rest, and actually gets their rest. I work on a long rest, everybody.
Hooray!
I
Maybe
really thought you were going to interrupt us one more time. That you were gonna like bait us with the short rest and then bring the withers down on us again.
I was ready. I was like, I gotta
Figured
roll
it's
these dead
fair.
die. Holy shit. Holy shit, spell slots.
Oh my
Alright,
healing
y'all
back.
complete your long rest, healing up from a long, arduous day battling these withered creatures. And slowly, one by one, start to wake up the next morning. Not feeling better. In the end, you're very refreshed, but not a pleasant night's sleep. You all were quite chilled, all quite almost to the point that you would borderline would have suffered a level of exhaustion while getting your long rest just because it was not a good night's sleep. Sleeping on either stone floors and just in general in the cold, as no fire, nothing done to try and keep everybody warm, just out of fear that number one, enclosed space with smoke versus number two, signs that you're here and leading the creatures back to you. But
Anyone
as
who was
everybody,
in
yeah, go ahead.
anyone who was in the room would have gotten a men's tiny hut ice heater. So it would have at least not been cold.
All right.
Waking up to a warm cellar.
Yeah. So after you each wake up in turn, Jenica and her three compatriots all are like trying to gather everybody's attention and get everybody gathered up to the back side of the room, where she's seated on a crate and various other members of the group, Flower, some of the individuals from the tavern are all sitting waiting for everybody to gather. You guys have any morning activities before you go to this gathering? Speak now.
Alfred will get up and he will walk over to Kiesel. Kiesel, good morning. How are you doing?
I am considerably a little more warmer. Did I die in my sleep? Is this
No,
the waiting
you
room for
haven't.
Infernus? No?
No, we're alive and well. All
Oh.
is well.
Oh dear God, we're still alive. Okay.
But I have a gift for you. Your turn to Infernus was quite unexpected, but it actually is thematic in this. Behind his back, Alfred will produce a small little, what looks like a brooch in a way. Can I see your glaive for a moment?
It's heavy.
Yes, Jesus. Or
Some dude from down the street.
A very
He
powerful abbot of the Infernus sect.
yeah, I need to study up on my Infernus. How do you carry this around? Never mind. Don't answer that.
Lots of muscles.
So you hold it like here? Is like your like the pommel, I guess?
Yeah, you could. I hold it more of like almost like a quarterstaff in a way, and I'll kind of like put my hands on it. One hand kind of in the center. Well, there's two like I want to say connectors, but they're like, in weights you have the things that you can tell along the bar. There's basically two of those.
Two grips.
And yeah, like two grips kind of, and they're kind of like in the, not like if it's in the middle of it, they're on the sides of the middle. So one's a little bit more choked up and the one's a little bit more on like the bottom of it.
All right. Towards the bottom one, Alfred will sort of like attach to the pole this like as I said, like brooch object. It's got a couple sort of like levers on the sides of it, and it sort of looks like a small little what's it called? Oh god, the word escapes me. A small phoenix in terms of the architecture. The wings being the two little levers. I noticed that you were having a little trouble with getting through some of these things, and I hope this will help and do a little bit more, because I really need you, and hopefully, actually, this might be a start on a good journey with Infernus. And this is a radiant weapon. It's magic weapon, grants a +1 bonus to attack damage. You can take a bonus action to cause a bright light within a 30-foot radius and dim light for an additional 30 feet. And you can extinguish that as a bonus action. Additionally, this weapon has 4 charges. As a reaction immediately after being hit by an attack, you can expend 1 charge and cause the attacker to be blinded until the end of their turn, unless the attacker succeeds on a con save against my spell save DC. The weapon regains 1d4 at dawn.
I truly do not know what to say. This almost feels a little undeserving, to be honest.
I need you, so don't feel it's undeserved. Feel as I said, it's a start on Infernus. It's a weapon to keep those around you safe.
And indeed, it shall. You gave me all these papers to read through. Well, maybe just read one at least. Does this thing come with a manual, just so I can kind of remember how to use this?
Yeah, I've color coded it. So this one is the light, and it would be like a little white, and then this one is the is like the blinding like pulse, and it would be like a little orange.
Okay. Well, I guess I shouldn't be too maybe.
If you like take it out in the sun in the morning, and that'll charge it up.
Oh well, then maybe we should do that once we get out of here. Do I need to
Yeah.
like hold it up above my head so the sun sees it, or does it just need to glint a little bit in the sunlight?
It's honestly on a timer, but it works. Like, it's got a little diode as well to like as a secondary charger.
I'll do. Thank you
Made me
a
explain
lot.
this too much. It recharges at dawn.
Hold it up like this.
This is the infused radiant.
Yes. Alfred is he's moved his cloak, so he's taken that apart.
Okay.
And yeah, now that is a radiant weapon.
Cool.
6th level artificer.
Yeah, holy shit, for real.
Good.
It is in your inventory now.
I see.
Sorry.
You have to attune to it.
Oh, can I? Does it take long for me to attune to it?
An hour.
Damn. I'd like to attune to it, but everyone's meeting with Jenica? Question mark? There's like a convening going on.
Yeah, people are being gathered up for it, but
Okay, I won't attune to it now because I think this meeting is going to be important. But I'll just give Alfred like a hug and thank him again.
Well, you can start attuning to it as long as we don't do anything. Like,
Or
too much.
does my sole focus need to be on it? Or does it just, do I need to be like touching it to kind of like through osmosis or something? Like,
you have to be touching it. I don't. I mean, if you're sitting there in the conversation doing it, I think you'd be fine.
Okay, then yeah, I'm just going to kind of hold on to it and kind of attune to it as long as I can. Try to get that full hour in.
Yeah, sorry, it might be a little different on the way, but just take a little time and get used to it.
I will. Yeah, thank you.
Dude,
Anything from anybody else?
I see Vault.
I would have rolled up my hammock and got all my stuff together and cleaned myself up the best I can. And then at that point, I suppose, if there's nobody up here, I guess I'm gonna just be like chilling up at the top of the ladder until I'm told otherwise. But I'm gonna like peek my head down and look to make sure everything's fine. I have a question. Can I like hang out on the ladder if there's nobody else? Would that tire me out just to sit on like how big are the rungs of the? Could I like sit in it like in a tree limb kind of thing? Is that within the realms of speculative?
As a halfling? Yeah, I'll
Cool.
say you could.
Well, then I'm
Straddle
going to
a leg in there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be hanging out on the ladder. We're just hanging out on the ladder up top, just watching everybody.
This is actually gonna start remembering that if he doesn't see you down, you're probably remembering that and start climbing the ladder and be like, oh.
Oh, hello. Do you need to get up here? I can get out of the way.
I was actually hoping if it is fine, I think.
I'm sorry. I think I'm gonna like try to like get the blood out of my ears a little bit, just kind of like clean it out. Could you repeat that?
Yeah, I mean, upstairs be a good place?
Oh, it's a bit drafty, but at the moment it seems safe. Dusty too.
Alright.
I haven't cleaned the whole thing yet.
That should matter for talking.
So how can I help you?
I wanted to get a sense or sit on or sit.
Man, I'm sorry. I cannot understand you. I'm sorry.
I was hoping a
An electrical issue.
Yeah, I think it's still not picking up for you, Conrad.
Yeah, it like cuts out.
Maybe it's using the old microphone. Maybe it's not set to the new one. I don't know.
Oh, that could.
Like it's flickering on and off a little bit.
Whatever your Discord setting is. The input.
Discord's nice and funky about that too.
It can be. Yeah, sometimes I have trouble like getting Discord to like my microphones.
right. Is that better?
Yes.
Yep.
A lot better.
Right. Sorry about that.
Hey, that sounds really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my first time using my new mic, so some adjustments. I was just trying. I just wanted to put you aside and see where you are sitting on this whole situation.
I desperately want more information about what we're dealing with. I think that we have potentially oh goodness, I hate to say it, but a bit of an existential threat here. And yet, I've already signed my honor towards protecting these barrels and getting them back to Six Bells. So I'm a bit in a bind. I really, really hope that there's a way we can save this town.
And do you have a thought for if we can't?
Well, might have to extinguish all of them.
Was part of my thought as well.
I do believe if there is an option to save everyone, and we can have this conversation with everyone, if needed, but we do we could probably pull a favor with Airguard, and they have many clerics. If there's a way to secure a section of the city and fight our way through it, restoring one citizen at a time, a tedious option. I hope there's something more expedient, but I don't believe in
There
them
is, and that is potentially an option, but how long? We want to stick on our timetable. We have 5 days.
I mean no disrespect, and I know that this could impugn my honor here, but I believe this is bigger than this liquor business.
I mean, it is.
But I will not, I think I should have this conversation with the person I've promised myself to, which would be Kiesel.
Right.
Only he
Sorry.
can release me from this bond. Otherwise, this is my job.
Well, maybe let's cross that bridge when we have a bit more information. Of course, would like to present a united front moving forward on what we need to do today. We have a tendency to disagree, and I would like to maybe make sure we are on the same page before we get everyone else involved.
My first goal would be to gather information, because without it, I don't know if I can make any useful plan. But I do appreciate you looking for unity on our side. I think that's a smart move.
Right. I mean, I agree on information. Do we have cases that we should start with that?
Maybe we could speak with the people here in the room.
Yes, that's fair. Drew?
Sorry?
He gesture towards the ladder.
Sure. And I'll just, like, little acrobatically swing around and slide down. And then hop and check back to make sure he's following, and then I'll hobble over to the group.
Okay. Anybody else have anything? Yoford here? Zedri?
Gifford's coming out his hair from the night before, cleaning it up a little bit.
Make himself presentable.
Yeah, brushing his beard out.
Zidri's gonna meditate for a little bit, spending his time, of course, splitting prayers between Infernus and Priora, but he's also gonna go ahead and just like kind of reflect inward a little bit, and I'm gonna go ahead and swap out some of my spells.
Oh fuck, I forgot to do that.
Which they're already on my character sheet, but
Okay, so Vault and Salinas, are you guys going door-to-door questioning, or are you guys going to meet with Jenica where everybody's kind of being gathered and get information that way?
I would like to go to the main gathering and sit quietly near the biggest person in the room. Whoever that would be.
Yeah, close battle between... Yeah, it'd probably be Reva.
Reva.
She's got a little bit more height than girth on Yoford there, so...
How's Brendel doing? Is he bigger than... He's bigger than... How big is he? 8 feet? Is Brendel 8?
Yeah, he'd be a little bit on the thinner side than Reva, but be around the same, a little bit taller maybe.
Cool. I'm gonna see if I can, like, just kind of, like, get flanked by, like, elephant folk. Just be, like, kind of cool, like, if possible. Get Brendel on one side and Reva on the other. And I want to sit, if possible, like, on a box that gets me, like, almost at head level, but just, like, a little bit below him. I don't know if that's possible.
Brendel 7'2", Reva 7'4".
Ooh.
She's got a little bit on it. He's a pretty diminutive packager.
That's okay. We'll get him some milk.
You've been feeding them good. All right. Everybody else, that where everybody's headed after you get done with your spells and all the morning activities and whatnot? Okay. All right. As you all gather around, Jenica just stands up from the crate she's been sitting on as she was waiting for everybody to get there. All right. So, no, everybody's a bit distressed over everything that's transpired and everything going on out in the city proper. We need to figure out what we're going to do, and I'm not in a position to force anybody to do anything that they don't necessarily want to do, but hope is that we can all reach some sort of a conclusion on what's the best next course of action. I myself and these folks over here that have been so nice enough as strangers in our community to help out with dealing with these things. Bit of a loss for what has been going on, and are doing our best to piece things together with what we've seen. My compatriots here, Sar, Vito, Riva. Pictures.
Reba gave me the health potions. I like her. I mean, she gave them to Zedri, who gave them to me, but I know. I was there. I was in the room.
There's Sar.
Dang, that's cool looking, actually. I'm down. I'm down for that. Y'all think he's got a poison blade, or is he using like a magic weapon, or?
No, he can attack 14 times with 3 different daggers. That's his shtick.
And disengage.
Spin to win. Some blade tornado.
Okay. Should have all been shared. I don't know if they all pulled up as being open.
I think at the moment I only have Sar.
I have Sar.
Oh. Dang, Vito.
Oh, what a
Yo.
beautiful looking guy.
Yo, and Reva. Thumbs up for Reva.
The dang
Yeah, we've seen Reva
knuckles.
before. Saw her
Yeah, I showed her
yesterday.
last one. So, my compatriots here, Sar, Vito, and Riva. Also, had a bit of a loss. Came into town yesterday. Surveyed the mess that the town seems to be in. Attempted to find some information, find out what was going on. Did not have much luck in helping anybody. Sar, I'll just turn it over to you. You can tell what you guys were able to see out of town. All right, then. Yes. So we were finishing up our mission, transporting some food up north, and got back to town yesterday morning. Rode up to camp. Everything went fine. No problems. Everything was good until we got back here, checked out camp, and disembarked our boat, checked out things, and the whole place had been ransacked. Quite a bit of blood, damaged furniture, broken up supplies, crates, whatnot. No bodies, no survivors that we found. Thought it best to get the heck out of there as quick as we could. Headed to town. Horses were fine, so grabbed those, headed into town. Came across a couple people that we attempted to help rescue from those things, wither shits, whatever. I don't know what the frick they're called, but tried to help out, but unfortunately quick enough to get involved and get those people taken care of. But did our best to fight those off, kill whatever we could, and then we ran into Jenica here, and she said she had a rendezvous with you folks at the Hollow Archon, and we got there to find a bunch more of these shits. And yeah, suppose that's about all we have to say. Yes, did see there was a ship off in the harbor about a mile offshore. As we were coming in on our rowboat, we didn't go over to it. I don't know about you guys; those things get a little bit tiring, so we just made haste to get where we were trying to go. But didn't necessarily see any activity, but everything seemed to be intact. Jenica here says that's your folks' boat, or likely is. But so, I mean, there's that. I don't know what the status is of that, or whether they can help or anything. Honestly, that's about all I know.
You said it's about a mile offshore.
Yeah.
I can make that run in a few minutes.
It's an offshore, like in the water. I mean,
Yes.
you look capable. I don't want to, question you, but
I have this handy little ring, and I'll kind of show the ring that I'm wearing, and it's just like a simple silver band, but it's got like these waves on it, and then spins around on it.
Oh,
fucking A, that's awesome. You got an extra one? I mean, that could be really cool. I don't like rowing the boat. If I could just walk, it'd be awesome. But
An extra, I do not, unfortunately. I don't know if any of our casters maybe have a way to help with that.
you got that. That's great. Jenica just gives him a side eye stare. Yeah. We'll talk about that later. That'd be great.
Loves art.
So, suppose with that, we could attempt to get some sort of message to the Dark Maiden if they are still out there. Probably the highest point in town would be the lighthouse tower on Thornwatch Keep. Assuming their boat is still there, we could attempt to ferry folks over to the Dark Maiden, or if it's gone, Spring Isles would be a bit of a jaunt, but we could probably try and cart people out there and get people to safety, get all of us to safety if that's what people want to do. One of you talked to me last night about wanting to do everything in our power to try and get rid of the problem. I am not opposed to that, but understand that a lot of you are not really the fighting type, and so it's kind of a difficult decision on what to do. Maybe we need to split up and do a couple different things. But I will turn it over to our capable visitors here, who have been so kind as to help out and take it upon themselves to want to try and rid this menace from the town. Motions to you, Alfred. As leader for the party, what say you, Mr. Yates?
Yes. Thank you, Jenica. Now, my good folks, I don't know the circumstances that necessarily are at hand as to the extent of them, but what I know is this, and the town is quite overrun. The people that are there are still waiting to be saved, and we are going to do everything we can to bring them back.
Harump! And I'm gonna take my cane and wrap it on the ground.
But know this as well. There might be no solution to this. And he'll look around the crowd as he says this. There might not be a hope for this town. And we might have to make some difficult decisions. Now, I would hate to ask any of you to to affirm even, but if I could even ask further, if there's anyone that would be willing to help us and help rid this infestation first, and if not, help us contain it.
See a lot of sad eyes but nodding heads as you kind of go over the state of affairs. Don't really get any opposition that anybody disagrees with you, that they accept that things may be helpless.
If I may speak, and I'll make quick eye contact with Alfred and then quickly dart to the ground as a show of submission to everybody. to really add on the dynamic here. There's no. Thank you.
Go on.
Thank you, sir. There's no doubt in my mind that the boat we did arrive on, if that is the boat out near a mile away, that we would have enough room to keep everybody on here. I mean, not to necessarily say we should rip you all from your homes, but perhaps maybe a one way to, we'd have to be going to Six Bells. If not there, then, maybe one of the other cities here in the vicinity. I'm not too sure, but at the very least, we can maybe get to the boat first and then think in the next, coming days. I mean, it's only, what, a 3-day journey between here and the island? And I'll kind of look back for confirmation on that.
Oh.
So I guess 3 days? 4 days?
For going on 5.
Oh, fuck, we have to leave, now.
Depends on the weather.
If we were to leave at the very latest tomorrow, could maybe perhaps spend at least all day here to come up with some sort of solution. Maybe just one final hurrah, while we have everybody else safe on the boat. That way any other capable bodies can come with us, and if we can't, then, we might just have to leave.
Outside of weapons, does anyone have any sort of capabilities? Any artisans, any craftsmen, anyone that knows how to work a ship even?
Flower will hold up her broken bow as
She kept it.
aside from that, from the rest of the people that you see as the commoner types, nobody seems to show any ability to fight. The little packeteer girl does stand up and kind of just holds her fists out.
Yes.
Pat her on the
Little
head.
packeteer girl that's a foot taller than Volt, but
Yes. What a beast.
All right. Well, we're gonna go check out the boat,
Um.
and then. Yes, Volt.
May I have the floor, sir?
Of course. Your input's always appreciated.
Thank you. And I will kind of I thought I was sitting on a box, so I'm gonna kind of stand up on a box. So I should be now at eye level to Reva and Brendel here, just trying to as big as I can get. I'd like to hear from some of the locals on how they've stayed alive for so long. Perhaps there's some clue. Anna or Flower, could you tell us your stories? What's happened since at least the last that we saw you and Flower, and if you could just help us out with recounting what you know.
I mean, there's not much to tell. People came to the inn kind of over time, gave them shelter, gave them a place to get food, keep warm, barricaded everything to keep those creatures out. We went scouting for whatever supplies and other survivors if we could find them. That's what I was doing last night when I found you folks coming into town. That's what Wynn was doing too. But we don't have a whole lot of. Know a whole lot. I mean, none of us really fought them until last night.
Did you light a fire in the inn every night?
Yeah, seemed to not cause any problems. Never seemed to draw them in or cause any issues. I don't know if they followed us or how they ended up there. Seemed kind of odd. We'd never had anybody get in before you folks got there. I mean, I don't want to say like you guys were responsible for that or anything like that. Just, that hadn't happened before. That was my first night actually going out helping. We had one guy that didn't come back the night before. Geralt, I mean, he was, maybe thought himself a little bit more capable than he was. And him and Wynn went out. Wynn came back, but he didn't.
Yes.
But, I mean, that doesn't really probably tell you much.
It does, actually, quite a bit. And a follow-up question. How many in this room have been affected by this plague, affliction, disease? I don't know what this is. Two here, and anyone else?
You mean like infected?
Oh, temporarily, of course, yes.
I don't think
if it's permanent,
any of the
they would
rest.
be down.
Jenica just kind of surveys the room. It's like, I don't think anybody else has been infected, but they haven't had any. As Flower was saying, nobody's really had any direct interaction. You, Anna, you said something about you were treating people. You didn't get yourself infected or anything like that. Me? No. Everything. I just thought I was treating, flu or something. Didn't really know what I was dealing with, but spells seem to work, healing people up. Seems to have helped your friend. Gives a little head nod to Yofredir over there. Scariest thing I've ever seen, but yeah, it worked. So that's good.
If
And sorry, I'm just if you don't mind, I'm going somewhere with this. If you've treated anyone, has anyone spoken to you about their effects prior to being treated? Did they have any strange stories?
I mean, like the people that I helped out said that they'd been various different places around town. Everybody had a little bit different story of somebody that had some interaction they'd had where there was a cleaning lady, had been working at a place, said she smelled some stuff that didn't smell good, and thought she contracted something, some sort of virus or whatever.
Do you know where she worked?
No, I mean, I could probably take you to her house, assuming she's still there. I moved on to the next patient, so I didn't stay with her.
Just in Barrett, did she work for nobles or in lesser houses?
Most of the people that worked doing cleaning work for the nobles around here. I don't recall if she worked for House Bannon or some other house. Might have been more just local wealthy to-dos. But, I mean, I could take you to her house. It's on the other side of town. If we went there, we could probably go to the temple. I really think that would probably be a better place to be than here.
And why do you think that? I mean no disrespect to the gods.
Furnace wouldn't let anything happen to us. He wouldn't let his followers be attacked in the temple. I think he'd protect us there.
We'll be doing the gods' work ourselves today. I do believe there might be something here, but we're missing something. And I'm gonna look over to Zedri and Yofredir and be like, we haven't had much time. I'm sorry to ask this. in mixed company, but can you tell me anything of your experiences while under?
Does Yofrider, like, remember that it's like a whole hive mind thing? Did he gather that?
No, he actually wasn't under long enough that he had the hive mind connection, but you do remember your whole stat block.
Gotcha.
All that information is still in your mind. You know what you could do, and it was kind of out of body experience. But no, you did not have the hive mind experience that Zedri, which probably is a good thing.
As far as I know, I wasn't infected for very long. So, beyond physical capabilities of these things, they can claw, bite. I believe it's the claws that infect rather than a bite. So, if that helps any.
Thank you. And Zedri, did you have any experience? You were under the longest of anyone we've saved.
Yeah, I mean, my head got really foggy towards the end, and it just got me a little, I guess, upset and irritable. But it was more so the fact that I couldn't quite put my thoughts together. It I don't know. There was a lot of motivations that were like simple. My thoughts weren't exactly where they normally are. And I'm not saying I'm the most intelligent here. And he like looks at like everybody in the circle. It's just I felt a little simpler minded during that time. But it was the voices that they just kept on echoing like hell and things like that. It was difficult to wade through it all. And when it came down to it, and after you decided to go ahead and save me, everything just kind of unclouded. Whatever it was, it felt natural. It didn't feel like there was a definitive on-off switch for it all.
May I ask about the voices? You said you heard a sea of them. Was there any directionality? Could you say that they were louder in one area than another?
No, it was a lot of just cries for help, and it was very loud. It wasn't coming from one specific place. It felt like it was coming from all over. I mean, they dig underground and stuff like that because they kept on popping up whenever we first ran into them. And I wonder if the reason why it felt like it was coming from all directions is because they are all around us.
Excellent. Now we're getting somewhere. Now, anyone who knows this town, are there cavern systems? Maybe an old section of town or a sewage line. Something. What's the deepest point one could get to? Jenica, you're a smuggler. I'm sorry, you're a woman of many talents.
We'll be lucky if we all get out of here alive. I don't really care who knows what I do. Anyway, we have tunnel systems that we've established for moving goods through town, getting things where it needs to go. They're not extremely deep. They are all completely stone reinforced. I doubt those things could get into there, but I suppose it's possible. There is a small sewer system that runs underneath parts of the town, mostly for the upper portion of the town, up by the Thornwatch Keep and that area, Pottersboro. Exits out into the cliffside, going off into the bay. So not really easily accessible for anything to try and climb up into it, but if something was burrowing, I suppose if they could get through solid stone on the stone blocks that on the sides of it, it's possible. Know of a few people that know how to get through that type of stuff, so I wouldn't necessarily put it past these things. But as to an overall connected cavern system that goes underneath the entire town, not that I'm aware of.
Wonderful. Okay, so you have all entertained me long enough. you wouldn't mind, I'd like to propose at least one course of action that could be available to us. Again, this is not me saying what we should do, but just an observation of one opportunity. We have at least one favor owed to us in a nearby town, and an unsuspecting town that doesn't know it's coming. We have at least a few fast riders who could easily carry a message, at least warning that town and letting them know what's coming. Meanwhile, we have a boat in the harbor. We can use that as a fortress for the time being, at least for the day. We would at least have a way to get everyone somewhere safe for the night, and if things go terrible, we can send it on with the goods. Brindell can guard the rest of them. They'll make it to Six Bells, and those of us who can stay and fight could at least spend another day or two trying to figure this out before reinforcements from Airguard could arrive. Puts us in a risk for at least 2, maybe 3 days. But we might be able to get at least these survivors out, find out what's going on, and get some damn revenge. And I'm just gonna, like, hold my crossbow up and put it on my shoulder.
You get a couple half smiles from a few individuals in the group as to the revenge comment.
Salinas will sort of step forward at this point. Well, that is a plan that we could be working on. I do have one question before I proceed. I was told that these have not noticed any of these creatures out in the daytime. Is that true?
Everybody kind of just looks at each other and head nods.
Then I propose that how we should spend today is we should split up into groups. Those who are able to try to go door to door, clear out any other survivors, pick up any other fighters. We have a couple other areas of interest. I know Anna wanted to return to the temple. If we could find more of the clerical staff, it would be a great resource. There are those who need to go check out the boat. It was also proposed to go check out the fortress, and I believe our new information, we should perhaps check out the sewer system. I believe that's 5 areas of interest. We can split up into groups, leave enough time to ferry everyone the boat, or go out to the boat and have them pulled in to get everyone on. If there's any other ships in the harbor, we could commandeer them for the moment. Try and spread out as much information on what we're dealing with as possible. Clear out what we can. If there's any other areas of interest. Oh, and flour, yes. I have something to do today as well.
Just gives you a confused look as to what she has to do, but then nods her head. Okay.
So how?
Well, as for checking on the boat, I don't think anyone else would be able to follow me. So that probably leaves me there, which should be fine.
You'll have the rowboat, if assuming it's still there and seaworthy.
I don't know how well these things swim either.
Is it necessary for us to send a body out there? I could have my bed go ahead and deliver a message. I don't know if a conversation is necessary. I just
Captain
don't
did
know.
like your bird.
Yes. Oh,
Should be recognizable.
beautiful idea. And we could attach a letter to its leg.
Right, sounds good. There are volunteers who would like to visit the fortress, the temple, the sewer system, and those who are willing to go door to door looking for survivors.
Before we left, the girl who is going to be tried for like killing a mother. I think her name was Rajni. She was being kept in the Thorn Watch, right?
The dwarven lady, woman, girl.
Presumably, I mean, that's the only place in town they keep prisoners, so.
That is why I suggested we perhaps check that out.
I would be inclined to check out the Thorn Watch. And I think that we could probably gather a pretty solid group to head over there. Maybe we should be lighter on sending people out to go door to door, especially since it'll be easier to move quieter if there's less. And Cedric will look towards Alfred for approval.
We'll just give
I would
a
like
good
to-
head nod.
I would like to pull, if we have moved on to splitting groups, Zedri, I would like to pull you, my things I need to get done, and then either Kiesel or Yoverdir.
What if we intentionally made noise elsewhere?
Like a decoy?
Yeah. We have people going to the temples and people going to Thornwatch. What if we made some noise out towards the forest? Make a big show of things. If they come out during the day, that'd probably be the time.
Some people with horses, perhaps?
I would hate for them to be sleeping and us going about a business just for us to wake them up and maybe prematurely have them show their face.
Yoverdir,
we can-
and Zedri, would you remember if you felt like you would not want to see the light of day or not?
Here's the solution instead. We could send Euselenus to either the temple or Thornwatch, and if there is any resistance or any sort of motion that you see, you can either send Galfrank or send a message, right, to
Yes, I can.
one of us, and then we can go off and make noise if needed. Otherwise, we stay quiet.
If I might interject a bit,
Of course.
not meaning to naysay on anything, but I'm not 100% sure I want to count on these things aren't out during the day just because none of these folks have seen them. I basically have as much information as you do to work off of. I'm not feeling overly comfortable in sending a large contingent of people out door to door and sending out to different locations and traveling from the center of town all the way out into the Bramblethorn, deep into the woods to try and get to a temple because she says her god's going to save us. No offense to the gods. Not putting my stock in that. It hasn't worked for me yet. So, that being said, I may have an opportunity for us to keep things a little bit more under wraps. As I said, we do have some tunnels through town.
You have
It's
a map?
not the
Ooh,
nicest. Yeah, not a map of the tunnels. It's more so you learn them and then you're the only one that knows them. If the map falls in the wrong hands, then we all go under. But I know them. My friends know them. Various different people that could be guides. It's not the cleanest route, but I could get us into the Thornwatch without having to go outside.
You are a miracle worker.
If we
Alright.
don't have to worry about traveling through the streets, then I feel like we should be more inclined to consolidate and maybe take the entirety of our group over to Thornwatch.
And
I
perhaps send one rider out to Airguard. Maybe Flower. I feel like she's fast as all get out.
believe
She gives you a smile.
I have a perhaps. Yes. All right. There's. Cedric, perhaps you would be willing to help me with something when before we send Flower off.
Sure, yeah, if I can help out. I did also want to bring up a point. I feel like there was that like plant. It almost looked like an anemone. And it if it's organic and it's any sort of plant matter, I might be able to commune with it. And
I think
prevent
that's-
some sort of infection.
think
I
that
wouldn't
is
want
a-
to.
Double the reason that you and I should go out there then.
Oh, okay. I hope there's no more people get infected needlessly. So, I just hope that all of us can stay safe through this. And Zedra once again kind of look around the group.
Right. For the moment then, perhaps me, Zedri, and Flower. Zedri will send out his bird, get Flower on a horse, headed towards Airguard. Then
Can we send a
would we
guard
want
with
to
her
go to the temple?
to make sure she's safe? But this message would be absolutely critical.
Could Alfred, after like this whole like speech, could he go down and start like working on Flower's hand crossbow? See if we could like get it repaired.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, short bow, just for clarification.
bow,
But
so
yeah,
my bad.
yeah.
For some reason, I have it in my like headcanon that she has like a hand crossbow like attached to it.
Strangely enough, that's what the two elven brothers are packing. But no, she's got the short bow. So.
Freaking Reavers.
I mean, I guess I'll interject as again. We do have some other supplies. We can get everybody situated with weapons. I mean, if they don't know how to use them, they're not going to be near as effective. But I can get people set up with a few things. Everybody needs fresh clothing, things like that. We do have a few hand crossbows, some daggers.
That's amazing.
Torches, rope.
Do you have caltrops or any spare metal that we could use to slow them down? Ball bearings, even.
I think.
Or do you have any
I mean, if
just
you
animal
want,
traps,
it would take
pressure
some
traps?
work. Got some, a couple sets of thieves' tools that you could maybe try and turn it, not cut up. I'd hate to see them destroyed, but I mean,
Oh
if
goodness,
they're
that
going
does sound bad.
use whatever.
Please don't.
Got a couple potions. You guys did kind of tap the healing potions last time. We got a couple more of those. Some ointment that may help with dealing with the disease thing.
You are so
Some
prepared.
healer's kits help with injuries. We stock a lot of stuff. We'd like to keep this place pretty well stashed. So, I mean, I can set anybody up with those things as needed. There's some various other things. You know, obviously, everybody's got their bedrolls and their blankets and, you know, some candles and whatnot. But the other thing, the tunnel we would need to use to get to the Thorn Watch if that requires us to jog over to get into the sewer system. So two birds with one stone, I suppose. But if we don't turn, part of the group could go back to our camp where the boat is. If we wanted to try and send people out to your ship, we could send the maybe less fighting types on ahead that way, split up at that point. I suppose if the three of you want to go play outside, that's up to you. She gives a long look at Flower since she's been recruited into this group, and she's like, That is your choice, what you choose to do, but that's what I can offer. Some equipment and a fairly safe, secure underground route to get to a couple locations that may be of use to us. With our camp being insecure, I suppose the best way to put it, if I was going to shore up anywhere as to being a location to defend, Thornwatch Keep would probably be where I'd go.
Do you think it's possible to set a defense in the Thornwatch, even at this late hour?
I mean, number one, there may be survivors there. There may be people that hold up there as a position of safety. Number two, it's a flippin' castle. So if there's any place to form up a secure location, that would be it. From my visits, I would, it is stone floors. It is not easily accessible in, aside from my own ways of getting there, but
Wonderful.
There is the concern that it might not be a fortress and it might be a nest.
Oh, you know what? I just thought of something. Flower, or Anna, there have been smokestacks that we saw when we first rode into town. If you've stayed here for a few days, would you happen to know roughly where any of the smoke might have been coming from? Those might be locations of interest of people already making it. And if we can gather up a larger group to meet at the fortress, bolster our army, so to speak. Does that ring a bell? Is that something you know?
I mean, yeah, I suppose there's a couple places. There's the Gilroys and Hennessy's, and those people. I remember they had smoke coming. I didn't go to their houses.
Of course not. Of course.
In our search, that when we did, they were kind of in our first pass. Wynn told me that nobody answered, but I mean, you saw those things. I wouldn't answer my door for random people showing up either. But I'd know probably be able to find a couple of those places, and we could check and see if we could get persuade them to come out, assuming they're okay.
Did the fortress look like it had? Could you tell if the fortress had smoke?
No, I mean, I didn't see anything in particular to say it was from the fortress. I never went that far north.
Of course.
Anything I saw could have just easily been Burgundy Tiger. I mean, there could be people there too.
Of course.
There were some smokestacks off to the north, or chimneys going off to the north that might have been.
All right. Well, something to keep an eye on. So, am I to understand that our plan is contact the boat, contact Airguard, and make a foray into at least one place today? Does that sound? And I'll look over at Alfred and with a kind of long, diminutive kind of half bowing kind of stare. Does that sound like it would be your will?
I trust in your judgment. I think that sounds good enough. Yeah.
Okay, so now if we have a plan of 3 tasks, a boat, out of town, and 1 location, we need at least to figure out who we send where. Who are our fastest riders? Who can we send to Airguard? Who can we trust to make that journey?
I mean, Vito and Saw are capable riders. I'm sure they do fine.
Vito?
She's looking over at them and getting wide-eyed, really? You're freaking volunteering us for this?
They do come in a pair, so they are their own security. not to sign them off to something, but I mean, statistically, realistically, I'm sorry if I may speak. Statistically, realistically, I think for the betterment of maybe our chances here, I mean, to get that word out, especially, I mean, we do have favor with the next town over. But, you know, do what you want, I guess. I'm not going to force you to do anything. I just think it would be really beneficial if maybe that was the case.
Ooh, that does bring up one question as we're solving this. How lenient is Enoria on due dates?
I was thinking about that.
Do you think she would be
Surely-
understanding if we were a little late, given extenuating circumstances? I don't know her very well.
Surely this would be understandable.
Assuming we all make it out of here alive, I think everything that has gone on. Can't say I've ever missed a deadline with her, but fuck her. So
I'm with it. All right.
Okay.
All right. Good. That's all Kiesel needs to hear. All right.
if you need to get, if you're worried about the cargo, we've got a rail system in the tunnels that we can run. We can load up. I'm sure. I would check. I don't know if there's any carts up here, but we could probably find one to load as much as we can to send it down the tunnel. It's not the first time we've had to move goods.
Wait. A tunnel underneath the sea to Six Bells.
No. To get it to the HQ, we could put it on the boat. When Vito and them were transporting food,
Yes,
that's what they used the boat for. So
Can I just
we
insight
need to
check?
get it
Just
out to the boat, get it out.
what this means when she
I
says
also
food.
I also want to inside check food as well.
Or would not.
Roll
because
away.
That sounds okay.
Oh,
You're transporting
motherfucker.
food.
I also would like that just for the fun of it.
Oh!
Oh, nice.
Oh,
You see.
Food.
Kiesel is just like, whatever. Anything she said, fucking Ori, you're good. You're just moving ahead. Don't care about any of the other comments. Zedri and Vault with 19 and 28 respectively. Seems legit that she has access to things, and seems legit that she doesn't need food.
I love
Clearly
this
needs
lady.
something else, and food is just an input term for not exactly telling exactly what kind of business they use.
Perfect.
So as she's saying this, does it feel like self-preservation is like one of her core priorities? Or does it actually seem like she's going to be a player, like a team player in all of this happening?
You get a little bit of both with a knight.
Okay.
Not that she is completely one side or the other. That if shit gets real, she'll probably cut and run. I mean, if things get real bad. But at the same note, she isn't opposed to trying to save the town that she calls home.
I love this character.
Yeah, she has a little bit of a little soft spot.
Little renegade, little homebody.
Okay, well, does that solve it? Do we have an air guard group?
I mean, I can go. I don't know if I'm the fastest. And you saw how well my horse did running away from those things last time, but I don't got shit here anymore. I can do it.
I'm gonna walk over to her and look her dead in the eyes. Can I insight check her gaze
Sure.
when she says like that kind of stuff, or just like, can I understand what it means? I don't know if you need me to roll, but
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
yay, rollies! It's a 2. It's not great.
Boy, we went from that 20 down to the 2.
It's a movement.
With a 10, don't really pick up anything other than, I mean, she's being truthful.
Sure. And now I'm gonna look at her and I will say, if you can accomplish this task for us, I will owe you one. and I'll like pull out a small piece of paper with like a little and write IOU on it and put my little house symbol on it and hand it to her.
Well, that's nice.
You may not know what this means, but it's quite valuable.
Suppose that's just all for the best.
You'll be taken care of forever, for the rest of your life.
Oh, that's sweetie, honey. That's nice. I don't need it. It'll be okay. I'll do my best.
And then I'm gonna look at the two brothers and say, "Can you guarantee her safety to the best of your abilities?"
Do you have any other rings to do any really cool stuff? I mean, I don't need the water walking thing, but like anything else cool? No. Okay.
Sorry.
Sure. Yeah, guarantee. Yeah. Believe. Yep, we can do that. We will get her there. We will do everything we can.
Are they acting goofy, or are they?
Yeah, I just want to make sure that Flower isn't getting backstabbed and they're not just going to cut and run on this. That is the most concerning. If Flower's cool with going, great, but I don't want to send Wimpos backing out on it. Oh.
Inside.
Are they?
Yep.
Oh, fucking.
Hell passion
One
from
over my
Kiesel,
head.
please. Oh yes, Kiesel.
Nice.
What a hero. Ooh, he's rolling.
Okay. Ball with the 12. They're being a little bit flippant, but being honest.
All right, fair enough.
They'll do what they can. The guarantee is the more flippant of, yeah, shit. Yeah, we can guarantee we'll hold off a horde.
Yeah, right.
Kiesel, they're not goobers. I mean, they're not like completely incapable or inept. They feel pretty confident that they know how to get things done. Jenica has vouched for him as well to you, so the vibe you pick up is being, they're going to do what they can, but nobody can guarantee shit in this situation. So,
Welcome to Kiesel's world. Okay, yeah, I'll just take it as it is.
How many horses do we have?
A lot, like an actual fuck ton.
Do we have like 7 or 8 horses? I can't remember.
Are they all
you know,
down
one
here?
per person minus
2?
Brindell.
4.
I got rid of Jenica's horse as well, so
Brindell's
Minus
Selena's.
3. Minus 3.
Because the child didn't have one.
Nope.
Oh, sure.
Zedri didn't have one. Because somebody else would have been on Zedri's horse since Zedri was on Jenica's.
Sure.
Jenica doesn't have one anymore because Zedri let it go. Selena's doesn't have one. Brendel doesn't have one.
Nope.
Yofrider didn't have one. Somebody else was on Wayfoot. Basically, you didn't have any horses that were being tagged along. You were either on them or
Sure.
somebody else was.
So,
Yeah.
So,
all right.
so 7, 8 horses somewhere, or
Cool.
10 horses somewhere around there.
Cool. We sent 3. Oh. Does this seem like a prudent decision to send 3 to Airguard? Is that reasonable, or am I being overly cautious here? Do we need the extra 2 men here? And I'm going to look over at Alfred and everyone in our little groupo, and even cast an eye at Jenica to see what her input is. These guys
Yeah,
could also
like-
say words, but I don't know.
I think your judgment's right. Keeping Flower safe is a high priority. We'll manage hair.
All right.
We will.
If that's decided, then we'll get the flag together for Airguard to prove who we are. I'll get my sigil on a little piece of paper, and if we could draft a note together, I don't know who would like to help me with that. Who speaks noble? Boss, would you bless us with your wise words and counsel?
Yeah, I'll draft up something for these shits to read.
Wonderful. And I'll kind of go over to him with my like remaining papers and things, and we can like kind of do that.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm going to pull Flower aside.
Everyone loves flowers.
As
Yes.
as the meeting is kind of dissolving, and people are going and getting ready, I'm gonna just kind of walk up to her and say, before you ride out, I promised you yesterday that I would help you barely win, and so me and Cedri will come with you to the stables, and we'll send you off from there.
I mean, I don't even know what to say. I mean, I appreciate it. You think I hate to put you two in harm's way going out there, those things. I mean, I know, kind of thinking maybe they aren't going to be around, and I mean, nobody around here's seen them during the day, but maybe the reason nobody's seen them during the day because all the people saw them during the day are dead. But I mean, you're capable, folks, so I don't want to tell you what to do, but
We'll be careful.
okay. It means a lot to me.
I'm gonna.
She just gives you a big hug before you can say anything else.
I'm definitely hugging her back.
Oh,
Toast.
then should
So
we
we
toast
have
on
that
this
good
as our
mixture.
plan? I'll pull out the last bottle of
I
scotch.
could use a drink. That would probably be a good thing.
If you have enough to maybe go around, we could all take one little like waterfall and enough just to kind of get the day started.
Absolutely. And I'll open it and I'll pass it first to the boss. Boss gets first drink.
Alfred will immediately take it, and he will hand it to Flower.
Oh! The final bottle of scotch from the trip.
Quick drink.
Better?
Ah. She hands it back to you, Alfred.
Ooh.
One back. And who's to my right?
Yo for here, because he just took a drink.
Yofordir, please leave some for the rest of everyone.
Yeah, he'll take just a trick swig and pass it on.
Kiesel will take a quick swish it in his mouth, use his fingers as a toothbrush, swallow, and then pass it on to Zedri.
Zedri's gonna take it by the neck and then grab it by the bottle and take both of them and just like pour it back. And then he will pass it on to Salinas.
Yes, will take the bottle and, looking out over the crowd, raise it up and say, Maidenthorn, those we have lost, to those who are still with us today, and take a very tiny drink.
Just one drop of it falls out from the spout.
Yeah, as close to that as you can get.
Yeah.
The vault.
Jenica will take the swig. Here's to fucking staying alive.
Just to that.
As everybody starts to dissipate away from the group, everybody gets the rounds in. You got about an inch left in the bottle by the time you get through everybody.
All right.
All for ball.
Any supplies you want to get, anything you guys get situated, pick that stuff up. We'll worry about that post-session as to anything you guys want added to your inventory from the things I listed. And as the 5 that are getting prepared to headed back out the safe house door, you get sent on your way, take 5 horses, head out into the cold white snow. It's 3.5 foot of snow on the ground.
That's as much as me.
Slow sledding, but it is only flurries, but a cloud-filled sky. There is very little daylight. through the cloud-filled sky, but it is definitely brighter than it has been. Those of you that are going the other route, watch as Jenica pulls a stone out of the wall, sets it to the side, reaches into a cobweb-filled hole, and then you hear the whir of some gears, and then the grating of stone blocks as the door turns, like the nice little secret passageway on a Lazy Susan, opening 2 passages to go through on each side of the wall as it opens up into a dark, pitch black tunnel on the other side, lined with stone block. And on the ground is a set of wooden rail tracks on the bottom, for presumably moving some sort of a minecart.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
Secret tunnel!
Secret tunnel!
Secret tunnel!
Lights a torch on the wall. Reva lights a torch on the wall and just starts handing out torches to everybody as you guys start filtering into the tunnel. And that's where we'll stop for the night.
I want to lean over to Alfred real quick. If we ever get our own place, you should like draw something like this around. That's really fucking cool.
I've already got it. You don't have to say things twice. That door is great. He's like looking at like any sort of like part of the door to see if he can like look at the mechanism behind it.
Most you can see from the mechanism is just the fact that there is where it's turned, but it's not like a full panel. It's just the wall that turns on top of the blocks. And for the first time, you notice the scrape marks that are on the stone that never really jumped out to you as to why there would have been scrape marks on the floor, because who was looking at the floor before? But now you can see that this is something that readily opens.
Oh.
And looking in the little hole that Jenica had reached into, you can see that there's a lever in there that's pulled
So cool.
away
That's
from
so
the
cool.
door.
That's so cool.
And connects into things. You can't make out very much of it, but with some tinkering, you'd probably be able to figure it out.
Before, sorry.
Just like interesting door. Who'd you have it commissioned by? Just like making smaller talk.
For real, for real.
Well, if we have any luck finding my boss, he can tell you.
I'll hold you to that.
What? She got boss intel? What the dude? Who would be a boss for Jenica? What?
As we're getting ready and getting wrapped in our coats and readying our weapons to head out, Nus will hand Galfrank to Kiesel. Say, if I don't know about just Airguard, I'm a little bit worried. You know the drill if anything goes wrong, right?
Yes, of course. And as he's saying this, I'm already tucking Galfrank into the corner to be like my second head and eyes, like right here. Like a GoPro.
GoPro cat.
Careful.
You too.
Everybody's filtering into the tunnel. Jenica's kind of bringing up the rear. And she'll come over to you, Salinas, just before you head out with the rest of the group. As everybody's kind of splitting up and going their separate ways. You guys are getting ready to go out into the snow. And let us know everything goes okay. And slide something in your pocket.
Yes.
I'll nod and say, I will, and I will let you know if I find out anything else important.
And you'll have to wait until next week to find out what got slid into your pocket.
Do I also have to wait until next week to read these Infernus pamphlets?
For real, for real.
Can I get a write-up on them, please?
Okay.
So you want to know more about our Fire Lord?
Have
So
you
you've taken the
accepted
first
Fire
steps.
Lord as your Lord and Savior?
I'm talking to the big lady
We have
first. I just want to stop by for
1, 2,
communion.
and 3. I didn't even notice that.
Wow,
I'm
look at
expecting
that.
a 12. Oh.
Oh.
I wanted Vaults if I could have enroll like another duplicate just so we have to roll off.
Roll on, boy.
All
Just gotta
right,
get on my
Cedric,
level, that's all that
stellar
is.
work. You really wanted it.
I guess so. Or I really wanted to go last. No, I'm just kidding. But mine would go to Alfred because the way that you came in, and that was probably the most leader shit you've done up until this point, like how you brought everyone together and was like, this is what we're it was really good. I feel good about telling Jenica a lie that you actually are our leader.
It's my favorite like running gag.
Alfred.
Mine would go right back to Zedri. Just your interactions with Jenica, and like nobody checks the flower, and like you have such a way of like being like snide but like not obtuse about it. And it's like really interesting to see how you play with like different NPCs.
Jofredir.
I'm gonna have to go with Vault just for like his dedication at he made a promise to Kiesel, and everything is relying on that basically, and he's putting everything into it. It's like, if we're gonna do something different, gotta make sure it's with Kiesel. And he's, stayed up in the house during the watch when he could have just gone downstairs, and then he's been just collecting the little bits of information. He's like, okay, I got that bit. Good night.
Good night.
Kiesel.
There's a lot of talking. There's a little bit of doing in the beginning, but there's a lot of talking. I would have to give it up to... I'm gonna give it to Vault as well because the whole goodnight bit made me laugh. So I just thought that was great. I also appreciated the planning that was done with everybody and the sacrifice of the scotch. So we do need to up on liquor if there's a liquor store in town that is not currently being used. I'll make a quick pit stop, grab something, and leave.
Make sure you guys grab the Twinkies too while you're at it.
For real, for real.
Salinas.
Now I'm expecting Twinkies.
I'm going to give it to Alfred. I'm gonna go back to the very beginning of the session. Him approaching Salinas and saying, "I want you to actually give me the truth. There's someone I can count on to actually be honest with me." And I really appreciated that interaction.
For as much shit as Salinas has gotten throughout the entire campaign, like going back to day one about the shit that he's done, he's always been honest. He's always been straightforward, and Alfred's seen that and appreciated it, even if he hasn't agreed with everything that Salinas does.
Vault.
Oh boy, alright. This is gonna sound a bit counterculture of me, but can I throw my inspo over at Flower? Bruh. Honestly, no, Silver, you killed it, like with NPCs having conversations with themselves in front of us to have like that was good. Love me some Flower. But if I gotta go with the party, I will go also with Alfred. But listen, huge honorable mention. I don't know if she can get inspo, but I want that Flower girl to be okay.
Goes to Chuck, not to her. So
Listen,
be very careful.
She's real as heck.
Dude, as long as Bozo 1 and 2 take care of her,
Yeah. Probably should have promised them like 50 gold a piece or some shit that makes it back.
Fuck, honestly.
Honestly.
So your vote for Alfred, dude. Reasoning?
Yeah. Oh, reasoning. You know, honestly, like it just the flavor, man. That boy is the most. I swear, like one of the most flavorful dudes. Like from the let's clean up the window. Like, listen, we're gonna nail this shit in. Boom, blackout curtains. All right. You know what? Talk to the god real quick. Hey, not what I was gonna do, but let's go and let's go deal with my boy here. The fire description in the center of the chest and using like that kind of like turning the magic that way. I just love that. That shit always gets me. So yeah. And across the board, again, the leadership, dude. You nailed the step up. Like, all right, I'm in charge. Like even your voice. I don't know if you know you did it, but your voice dropped when you stepped up to like actually speak to everybody. You're like, okay, guys, and I was like,
hello, it is me, Mr. Alfred.
Mr. Alfred. I'll do the same shit at work. I'll be like talking in this like normal register, and then when I go to like talk to a customer, I'll be like, hello sir, how are you doing? How's it going? How's the weather? You know, how's your day going? Things all right with the kids?
Right. Customer service voice turns on.
Surely.
Leadership voice engaged.
All right, Alfred gets inspiration for next week. So, questions. Looks like Salinas, you are up first.
Roll.
Are we heading in the right direction?
Roll for questions on Kiesel.
I'm making sure everyone knows.
Didn't I roll?
Oh god, but no,
You guys
me
have to roll
off.
Who got roll off?
Face off. You and me.
Oh really?
Yeah, we have to.
Hey, we got what we wanted. The roll off.
Sorry, Salinas, I totally talked over you.
No, you're fine. Yeah, Salinas is just questioning if they're if this is the right course of action. He is worried that the party is walking into a trap at the fortress. He has questions about. I mean, he still just has the lingering questions of where is this coming from? Where is the source? How do we go about stopping it in a efficient manner? Does Jenica have enough napalm to burn down a town? You know, normal questions.
In the barrel of flour, there's a lot of it.
You know?
Flour helps.
Dude,
Go for it here.
just a comment on the flour. You say that as a joke, but if you throw a bunch of flour up into a room, it will ignite.
Yeah.
Yeah?
But on to questions.
Things you
Is
learned.
everybody on the boat dead or like zombified? Like, what are we walking into? Like, what are we gonna find at the fortress?
You mean what are you walking into?
Yeah,
It's a
I was
mile
just
off
about to
the coast.
Well, no, Zedri's
I thought we
birds
were
going
set-
to the boat.
No, see, I thought we were just setting a bird.
Yeah, no, Zedri's birds gonna go to the boat.
What are we
So,
flying into?
is everyone gonna be dead there?
Oh,
I mean,
Oh.
even then, we can just take everything.
no. You know, honestly, these. Yeah, for sure. I mean, the dead don't need it. I mean, let's be real. Like,
I've already
Yeah.
said that.
yeah,
We've
right.
got stuff about-
Bruh,
Wait, the whole
boat campaign
fucking town.
starts soon. Couple weeks.
Oh no.
The whole world's a problem. No, all right. Questions, honestly. Bro, what is the game that we are fighting against? This thing. What are these monsters? What are they doing? What is this like? What is their MO? Like, who are they? What did they do? Like, I want an anthropology book or some shit. Like, give me, like, where's the zoology textbook? Like, listen, killer invasive fungi. Week 2, the thing. They want to eat stuff. This is how they track stuff. Man, like, the lack of ability to, like, I can't put myself in their headspace and I can't figure out what their plan is, so there's no way to, like, counter plan. So how do we learn about them such that we can learn to build the like counterattack strategy? Because that's what Vault's trying to do. We are not going to counterattack this. We cannot be on defensive and reactive. You got to be aggressive. Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. God damn it.
That was the help action, I think.
Help action. All right, that's it.
Kiesel, you're up.
Is the boat really a mile off? No. Pertinent questions. Is the fortress safe? Are we even safe in this mine shaft, or are we walking into like the literal abyss? Yeah, I think this is just like on a kind of hour by hour basis, so there's just a lot to kind of take in. Is Flower gonna be safe? Are these, because we technically told those douchebags off, shout out to Yofordir, so who knows if they're gonna be like, wait, those are the guys that told us to go fuck ourselves like 2 days ago? No! And now they're saying they need our help? Oh no! So yeah, no.
Like differences. Just bigger things. Just bigger
Look,
fish.
let's be gentlemen about this.
Sentry.
So there was mention of sewers under like the Thorn Watch, which offers a whole other complication that I didn't even think about. I was like, oh, like maybe the infestation happened like underneath. No, because if it got underneath, it would have poisoned the water supply for like all of that upper area. And like now I'm just like, how many methods of delivery are there? Because there's inhalation, but there's also like being scratched and like being like a bloodborne pathogen. So just is there some other facet that we aren't privy to? Because for what it's worth, we've seen people under the effects of this. We've seen like another stage, and then we've also seen like dead corpses with like this like fungi in them. So what else are we missing in terms of, like Pope was kind of saying, like, I want the illustrations.
Yes.
I want the pictures. Yes. I think he wants all of the like writings and the margins and things like that. So between the both of us, by our powers combined,
we'll get a biology textbook.
Shape of a book, form of words and pictures.
Yes.
Diagrams and everything.
On that note, Alfred.
Danica has a boss?
Bro!
I thought Honoria was her boss.
For real? There's a lot,
Obviously
man.
not if she's not name dropping Honoria. She's like, well,
She said, fuck her.
Also, echoing some of the others, what are we gonna find on that boat? It's like, it's been out there for a while. Do they have enough rations to like sit out there for as long as they have been too?
Or at least vitamin C so their teeth don't fall out.
Yeah. Kirby's no joke. And yeah, I think that's it right now. Period.
Let's get to the boat, and it's Captain Char's pleasure cruise, and it's like a scene from Babylon.
Oh goodness.
Bruh.
All right.
20s.
Rest of you roll on Fave Moment.
Big
Oh, the
20s.
best one. Cedri. 2 for 3 tonight.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm really tempted to at this one. I really liked the fact that this space was big enough for us to like move about whenever we were having our watches. Because normally it feels like we're inside the Liamon's tiny hut, like we have a little bit of the environment around us, but I think this one opened up a lot more with being able to stay down in the room versus being up in like the facade or whatever that led down. So it's nice to kind of like hop back in between, and also the fear of the unknown with like, how was the other watch going? Like, was something happening? Because how many people actually did their watch in the room that Jenica was watching? Because Jenica could have missed something, and then it's not on us, which I hate that feeling. But you know, so yeah, I really liked how expansive the watch was.
So amazing. Room just supernatural grew.
But how tall was the ladder? That's the question.
More than 3 feet.
12 feet.
12 feet?
Dang.
Okay, okay.
I get wobbly on the third step. That's a little. That's, I don't fucking know. That's a little too tall.
Kiesel.
That face in the window was so fucking scary, and I think the continuation of the feeling of dread and hopelessness into this episode, because like we had the happening in the beginning, and then from there it was just take a rest, do the checks, do all this, yada yada, blah blah blah. But like throughout that, there was this feeling of like somebody could pop off, somebody through the window could pop off, somebody up in the watch could pop off, and it's so cold. It's so bone-chillingly like it's lonely. That's how cold it is, you know, in a room full of people. And I really like that kind of continuation. That really hammers home like we are in the middle of somebody's apocalypse.
Alright.
I also like getting the glaive. That was very nice.
Getting the glaive.
Fair.
New weapon, new toy.
I don't know. Favorite moment. I think was I know that I think Vault mentioned earlier, but Silver, there was a lot of NPCs talking to themselves this session, and that doesn't. I know you try not to do that a lot, but you're really good at it. It worked really well.
Thanks. Alfred.
I think I speak on behalf of the entire group when I say my jaw hit the floor with Selena's like going up to Flower and like not rehashing but reiterating his plan on burying Win and like making good on his promise to Flower. Like it wasn't expected, I know for sure, from anyone. And like it was so out of left field. It was wild.
Yofridir.
You know, everyone like in the party and kind of halfway, I guess, everybody else, you know, we joke around about Alfred being the leader of the party, but when it comes down to making decisions, it kind of helps having him just be like, yeah, this is what we're going to do. Even if it's not like, oh yeah, you know, he's the leader, his is the final say. It's like, okay, well, you know what? Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, like that makes sense. Someone needs to be that guy.
Yeah,
If
I
not,
guess.
then like the figurehead at least.
Yeah, something.
And Vault.
Boy. Yeah, I mean, your portrayal of NPCs in working a meeting like this, where you're managing a party the same size as our party, and like being in conversation and sharing all of that, like that's a lot of details and stuff that you gave us from a lot of different perspectives. I was asking a lot out of you. I really appreciate you playing along there. But if I had to say absolute favorite thing, dude, man, Flower's great. I love that portrayal of Flower, man. Like she's like, I got nothing to live for now. Like that kind of like rock bottom existence of like her most important bond and tie is gone in this world, and it's just kind of like, all right, bro, like I got nothing to lose. Like that hit good for me. Love that NPC.
All right. Well, with that concludes episode 22. We'll be back next week with episode 23, and we'll see. We can't get a little bit closer to figuring this shit out and dealing with it in some way, shape, or form. Or maybe finding everybody's dead and it's just all a shit show, and that's the last episode. We all just died. But, well, you never know. Tune in next week and find out. Thanks for watching on demand, in person. Appreciate the views. If you haven't given us a follow, give us a follow. And we appreciate you and hope you're having a good time like we are.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Have a good night.